Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Valorant Game Changers APAC FSL. My name is Jaeger, joined by Illustrado, and well, we've got a doozy of games for you today because, well, it's going to be Big Scythe versus FUMA coming up, as well as later on you get Alter Ego Celeste versus X10 Crit Esports. So plenty of games coming your way and to look forward to. And well, Illustrado, how are you, mate?
Apologies, I think I had a little bit of a technical issue, but yeah, I'm super excited about game number two. Even game number one was looking to be a little bit closer than I think we initially expected. Um, it's just gonna be, I think, full of a lot of surprises here.
Before we move on, can I just say I think we had the same issue because we
No.
could hear, we could hear everyone at the same time. So I got a little bit confused there. That was definitely on me. I think they mentioned something about it yesterday, just to make sure that the other casters you can't hear them. And so I just heard a bunch of languages firing off at the same time just then. And I feel like my mind expanded. But your mind's going to expand tonight as well because plenty of great games coming your way. And well, the first game is going to be a great one. Obviously, we'll have the pick and bans coming your way in terms of the maps and of course the agent picks as well. And well, Illustrator, it's been a long time since I've been alongside you. And so, have you missed me? Like, tell me how you feel.
I
Please.
mean, on cast, yeah, it's been a minute. In person, it's been even longer. Feels longer at the very least here. But yeah, I'm super excited. I mean, we're gonna get to see a lot of great games, man. I do feel like I'm gonna be a little bit rusty. Uh, is it me? Is it me?
It's not you. I'm sure it's not
No.
you.
Okay, well, sorry, I'm just getting a little bit confused with the comms that I'm getting there. But yeah, again, we have a lot of great games. I do want to talk about one team in particular. So Big Scythe, they're one of the teams that we're going to be seeing first off here today. They've gone through quite a bit of roster changes. They've quite a bit in the previous FSLs, a lot of the different opens, never really placing all that high. But I do think we're seeing a lot of significant progress and a lot of steady, solid growth here. Now, they're going to be put up against a team like FUMA Gaming, who has also been sort of waiting in the wings a little bit. They're meeting in the lower bracket. Never had the cleanest of runs either. Never really a deep run kind of team. But this time, I think today, one of them is going to try to make a statement. And I think Big Scythe is going to come out swinging. Even though they're a little bit of the underdogs here today, I do think they have a very good chance of taking down FUMA Gaming.
I mean, I tend to agree. There's plenty of reasons why they can improve. You know, it's the first time with Wi-Fi, so there's plenty of space to grow together as a team, as they should do. And of course, they already have some very strong players in the lineup. So I think that there's definitely something that they can build on, things that they can start to excel at. And I mean, we saw some pretty good signs coming in from them. Camille on the Rays, you love to see that. Recently, obviously, Jet not being so great. You're seeing that 100% pick rate slowly disappearing, and you do love to see it. But seeing Camille doing her thing, especially in this tournament, has been an absolute pleasure to experience.
Full schedule. This is all the opens that we're expecting to see all the way up until June. So we got a lot of APAC game changers for you guys in the coming days here. We've got overtime on top of that. Then we have the APAC last chance and then Elite. So it's a lot of Valorant and a lot of chances for your favorite team to get into Elite. What they all want to go for. That is the yellow brick road that everybody wants to follow here. Question is, who's going to get to meet the wizard? Is it going to be, yet again, Alter Ego Celeste? We're still waiting for that day when somebody does dethrone them, but I do feel like, Jaeger, we are getting closer and closer to that.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I feel like ever since last year, we have had that build up. We talk about that though quickly. The prize pool breakdown for 5th to 6th place. Rather, let's start from 7th to 8th. $150. It's $300 for 5th to 6th. 4th to $600. 3rd for $800. 2nd for $1,200. And first place, $1,500 split between the girls. Plenty to play for at the moment. And that is not the only one that they have going for this year, obviously, because they're just going to keep building up and up and up until we get to that final stage of which you spoke. And yeah, absolutely, we do have plenty of space, plenty of room to grow. And I feel like with the more of these FSL tournaments coming up, that gap just gets all the more thinner. It's almost becoming smoke. And you love to see that happen because when that seat exchanges time and time again, it makes for much more exciting Valorant.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we're looking at some of the teams here who might obviously be in the running to take down Alter Ego Celeste. Couple of favorites off the top of our heads. Bren Sports, Victorious right there. They had a stellar performance last time, getting to second place. Obviously, let's talk about X10 Crit, who were just phenomenal last time. They all actually got to, in the previous Open, 2 Opens ago, there was a 3-2 loss up against Alter Ego Celeste. So that one was definitely a close one. A couple of other teams here that you might not expect here. Team SMG, I'm excited to see what they bring this opening as well. They have made a lot of changes in their roster. They have finally made a resurgence here. Not really the strongest of presence in the MYSG region for females, but with Team SMG now coming into the mix, I do think that is going to change very, very soon, especially when you have a team like, let's say, Paper X in the men's division performing lights out, in Masters. You got to have the rest of your region emblazoned as well.
You do love a bit of emblazoning when it comes to your region. But yeah, absolutely. So many new teams are popping up as well. I love the fact that this isn't something else I was really excited for ever since last year, because FSL have been providing that platform, right? People are starting to see, you know what, there is a career for women in esports.
Absolutely.
And so they get to see their sisters, they get to see their sisterhood and everyone else starting to jump into the scene. And I'm hoping that a lot more women are getting emboldened to jump into this industry and start making a name for themselves, because there's so many deserving women out there that finally have a platform for it.
Absolutely. And, just having a place for these amazing athletes to call their own, just for women, just for them to be able to shine a little bit more, just to be able to have the space that they can claim as their own. Definitely a very big thing. I know for a fact a lot of girls just really want to be able to get into this league, be able to play in here, because it is such a big deal. This is something that we haven't really seen much of before here. But talking about the upcoming teams here, we're looking at the first ones that we're going to be seeing already. These are the teams in Open 3, and we mentioned a couple of them earlier on. We touched on Alter Ego Celeste, a little bit about Bren Sports Victorious, and Team SMG, and obviously X10 Crit. We're going to be seeing Big Scythe playing a little bit later up against Team FUMA, but definitely I want to talk about Orangutan. Couple of the players moving from the Philippines to Singapore, so a big change in that squad. I do want to see how it does pan out, because, Jace, a lot of it is, you don't get that connection when you're not together on a boot camp, and this time we might see a very big drastic change in the performance of Orangutan.
You absolutely love to see it. I mean, for Orangutan's team especially, you do have Japeeps coming out. She was, of course, with the current lineup of Bren Sports Victorious before, but she's much more suited for an IGL role. I'm not entirely sure if that's what she's doing right now. I know that she can be, especially when it comes to off calls, mid-round calls. That is her comfort zone. And playing with Mythica, Casper, and Sway. And I mean, Kachao, she has still got plenty of room to grow. She's young, she's hungry, and she's willing to grow, right? But Mythica, Casper, and Sway, you now have this firepower coming from off country as well for Japeeps and Kachao. And so this little union that we have going on here is absolutely gorgeous to look for.
And isn't it amazing that, you kind of already have this multinational, international female teams? This is something that, it's just enthralling that we finally have, women players crossing borders, going cross countries, making teams all across Southeast Asia. This is something that I would have never thought possible a few years ago. And now we're here in the FSL, where we are looking at the brackets and, where those destinies are starting to unfold. We're looking at the brackets right now and taking a quick look at the upper. We got Team SMG heading up against Bren Victorious, and then Alter Ego Celeste versus X10. That's what we're going to see later. Alter Ego Celeste versus X10. It's kind of already looking like a grand final-esque kind of match, but I think this match is going to be very expository of what we can expect to see across the rest of the tournament.
I tend to agree. Yeah, I mean, we were talking earlier about hoping that gap between Alter Ego and everyone else was going to start slowly closing down. And well, one of the biggest names to do that is X10. And so hopefully we get to see them, just as you said, a little bit of exposition as to what to expect for the rest of the tournament. You love to see it. But of course, before we get to that, BIGG versus FUMA Gaming. And I think that is going to be a cheeky little game as well for us to enjoy, because a lot of these girls have been playing very, very hard recently. And I mean, what more can you expect? Jumping into this, Big Scythe, FUMA Gaming, you did mention before, FUMA Gaming didn't have the biggest stand-ups so far. Big looking a little bit better in that regard. And of course, having Margot jumping into the fray as well, you love to see that. And so I think there's plenty for us to look forward to here. And with the meta constantly changing, we'll have to see new things pop up as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just looking forward to seeing how it all just comes together here. You talked about roster changes. Margot, one of the players that I thought was one of the biggest standouts back when she was in Alter Ego Celeste. Now that she's sort of moving on, just the amount of presence she can bring in the back lines, coming towards the mid lines of the team, so to speak. I want to see how that helps her team right now change the face of the game here. But talk about that a little bit. I think we're getting started into this in this game very, very soon. But any expectations here, Jaeger? For me personally, I do think that it's still very much in favor of FUMA Gaming, if you ask me, but it's not by that big of a margin.
I mean, FUMA Gaming, they've been together for a while. They've been playing quite a lot, but I think Big Scythe, I think they can pull something out of their sleeves. I think they may have an ace up their sleeve, and we may get to see it here today as well. As we can see the little introduction for Big Scythe, Afrolin, Baby. How would you pronounce that? Just out of curiosity.
Giver.
Baby Giver.
Yeah.
Really? Okay. Crescents, Margot.
I know
and
you were
Yamori.
leading me into that phase, but it's cool. I'll take the bait, dude.
You take it. That's fair enough. Well, thank you for taking it, and I don't want to say taking it, but these girls are very talented. They have a lot of potential coming their way, and I mean, if we're looking for certain players to look out for, Skaru and Yamori, I feel like they're the ones that definitely could take a bit of attention. We have had not a great run for these girls, but it just means there's more room to grow, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. But you mentioned a couple of the names, Yamori there. But like I said, I want to keep talking about Margot, man. I think she is an absolutely insane player. One of the best controllers that I've seen in the female leagues of all time, honestly. I'm looking forward to seeing what she can do up against this team. FUMA Gaming. You got Iceling, Akane, Kimiyu, Maitsu, and Whiffy. This is a very reinvigorated, a new FUMA Gaming that you're already seeing. Not entirely the same one that made the runs before in FSL, but I still have no idea how they're gonna head up against Big Scythe. Well, it's all really up in the air, if you ask me.
Yeah, I tend to agree. Once we jump into the game, it can go either way, because I feel like a little something when it comes to FUMA Gaming is a consistency that isn't really there yet. We've seen them able to take maps off some of the big names in this tournament, and then they'll drop maps on one of their favorite. They'll go onto one of their favorite maps. Like, say for example, you got their split stats. They're looking very good on it. We've seen them drop a map after winning one of the worst maps they're on. There's just a general air of inconsistency that I'm hoping they can get over, especially as we head into the games today. And also, Whiffy has a great French, and so I feel like I could vibe with her. So nice to see that.
Yeah, I do have to go on the other way. Though, I do think Big Scythe are looking a little bit more solid lately. I think when you talk about, I'd say pedigree and just FUMA Gaming in general has been sort of a household name in the female pro scene for a minute now. But I do think right now the lineup of Big Scythe, they're looking a little bit more cohesive. They're looking a little bit more like they jive together more, and I think they might just come out of this with a victory. It's probably going to be close. I'm gonna, dare I say, probably a 2-1, something to that degree. But it'll probably be one of those games that'll be having me on the edge of my seat for the entirety of it.
I think we're in agreement when it comes to the fact that, yes, we are going to have a full best of 3. I don't think it's going to be a quick 2-0 for anyone. And if it is a quick 2-0, I think it is going to be, even in that aspect, still very close scores. Because I think this is probably one of the more even matchups that we have going into today. So here you have the map picks and the map bans. Bind, Icebox, Ascent, with Big Ban and Breeze, and it's just the maps that they currently have a very bad win rate on, so fair enough.
Yeah.
Bind, Icebox, Ascent, I think they both stand a fair chance. Icebox, it's not really, it's not it's not an FSL
It's
match if we
nobody's
don't
map,
see it
dude.
come
It's
out.
nobody's map. Like, you can pick Icebox. You think it's your best map. It's nobody's map. Anybody's gonna come up and suddenly be really good. Some other team's gonna come in and absolutely, throw you out of the, absolutely stomp on you in this map. But talk about those maps. Theoretically, I'm looking at these maps, and this should probably be a lineup for FUMA Gaming. These maps do ideally, I think, look a little bit better for FUMA Gaming, but I do think Big Scythe are probably just going to walk in there and just assert their own dominance in the way that they play the game and come away with a victory here.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, Icebox can be very... Like, I feel like it almost feels like a curse, doesn't it? If you jump into an Icebox game feeling confident because you just won an Icebox game, you're going to lose that game. If you go and feel like, oh, I hate Icebox, what happens? You're going to absolutely destroy. So let's see who goes into this feeling less confident, because that looks good for you. Based on that,
I mean, you're not
fact,
wrong. Dry peeking mid on Icebox with that false sense of confidence, it's probably the worst thing. And then you kind of just get one tapped by a sheriff at like long range.
Yeah.
It just is what it is, man.
There's just something about it. Right now, Big, they're not looking great on Icebox. FUMA Gaming aren't looking better, but stats can't speak for everything, right? It really comes down to who they are today. And jumping into the games today, I think it is very important to see how much they've grown and how much their recent losses may have humbled them. As, I mean, those recent losses, that was Big losing to Alter Ego, that was... I've got it, just don't worry, I've got it. It was FUMA Gaming losing to X10. So yeah, those it's just counterparts.
Those are not easy games, by the way.
They are not. And the fact that we did have a couple of, it wasn't exactly a stomp for either of those games either. So there's still plenty to learn in that aspect as well. I say it's not a stomp. The rounds individually come close.
Yeah, no, I agree. There were a lot. I was watching, obviously, when I was watching the games. Sure, you look on paper, it's a 2-0, and Big Scythe just absolutely, on paper, looked like they got stomped on, they got shredded. No, a lot of those rounds came down to the wire. There were a lot of inspired ideas, especially on the attack for Big Scythe. There were a lot of, I'd say, good building blocks that you could work off of. Question is whether they've ironed out those kinks and are able to transition them effectively and use them effectively in the game itself. I do think that's always been sort of the main characteristic of, especially the attacking side on Big Scythe, that there's a lot of great ideas, but how they effectively transition that into a successful attack, convert those rounds, that's a very different story.
That's right, and especially, I mean, Bind will be our first map, and I feel like Bind has recently, ever since those few changes have been made, not only to the map, but also to the agents, I feel like the games have been getting closer and closer. It's become less, oh, you know, Bind is so attacker side, Bind is so defender side. It's become a lot more, you can get that 6-6 and not run away with it in that second half either. So I do like that aspect now of seeing Bind. Jumping into Icebox, we always get the biggest comebacks. It is ridiculous. It's still happening. None of that, please. Let's. I don't want to see it 11.
I don't know what you're talking about. I want to see all the comebacks.
I want to go back and forth, man. You know, just a little. It's just like when you and I talk. There's a bit of back and forth. When you get a game like that, it's back and forth too. It's a conversation, but they're using bullets and abilities.
Fair enough, but I feel like you get that a lot more on a map like Bind, you know? This is kind of one of those maps where you can really go toe-to-toe and trade those rounds. I think that's what we're going to see here today as we take a look at the agents and the agents alike. I like that we're getting to see that Omen yet again. We might be doing a double controller here on the side of FUMA Gaming. Very difficult to execute lineup here. I mean, you do have an Astra, and you will probably be having that Viper. It's one of those that you have to have all of your utility in tow. You can't really make mistakes in terms of placement. You can't use a lot too early. Very little room for error when you're running a double initiator, double controller lineup like this. Meanwhile, you look at the side of Big Scythe, pretty much a clear-cut standard lineup here. You got one, got one duelist, and then you got two sentinels. Very wide berth for error. This is something that they should feel absolutely comfortable on, especially on their defensive side.
Well, let's see if that takes off a little bit of pressure as they jump into this map. Always nice to see Chamber. I feel like Chamber has become quite a mainstay in Bind just because that potential to be able to rotate so quickly between the sides. You've already got, the portals on both sides, but you've also got now that rendezvous as well, and it makes control so much easier. So you'd love to see that. getting that Sova pick, I do love to see a bit more of. I mean, recently I have been seeing a surgence of. Yeah, you got the Sky on the other side, but KO as well on Bind can be lethal because there are people starting to discover a couple of lineups for the machine. So yeah, I think there are a couple of upgrades we could see for both teams, but I think both teams should be pretty comfortable jumping into this game. There's no reason to lean towards one roster or the other, and that's what you love to see as well. The fact that you can play completely different games and still get good results. That's it shows how far the game's come by itself.
Yeah, absolutely. But here we are. It's game number 1 of the day. Big Scythe versus FUMA Gaming. And we're here in the FSL. And we're about to get into it here on Bind. Now, we're seeing a little bit of a 3-2 split here on the defensive side. Gotta call. Okay, I do like Margot on the Omen. Absolutely love her on the Omen. So this is definitely her most comfortable pick here. I want to see what kind of aggression that she brings out, especially on these early rounds here. Really set the tempo on the defensive side. Meanwhile, on the other side, you got Whiffy up on that Sky. Now so far from what I've seen from Whiffy, I'm absolutely loving the flashes. It's really great. Even on the attack, even when she's put in a position where she has to go kill, she's able to pull it out and really be able to be a shining star for her team. Let's see if they can do that today here in game number 1. And if you guys are just tuning in, you're joining me, Illustrato, alongside Jaeger. We're going to be your casters here today as we get started with the first round. Now, as the push comes in so long, a little bit of utility is expended just to be able to get themselves more of that control here towards Octagon, controlling a little bit nicely that orb there just to get a little bit more presence. But they're holding on Big Scythe towards Hookah. They're not giving it up.
This kind of defense can be very annoying to play against. You can see all eyes into the side. They're not worrying about Hookah right now. That spike can go down in just a moment. They are trying to set themselves up for the post plant, but they are slowly getting surrounded. Good idea just to watch the flank there from Meitsu. We'll be finding that first flank, but getting completely overrun here will be taken down, and that is going to be our, well, technically our second kill, but the first that matters on this retake.
Standing ahead.
One enemy remaining.
Now, I'm not gonna... Out of curiosity, have you ever pronounced Wi-Fi as Wi-Fi? Because I was that stupid child. Get the Wi-Fi going.
Yeah, 50 Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi.
We fight together. And, well, they will be fighting together going into this round. That's a disgusting fun to jump into. It's completely empty over on the B side. It looks like Big have decided, you know what? We want to go for a big old push all together as a family. And right now, plenty of utility being poured into the side. They're going to realize, wait, hold up. This place is completely empty. Where are they? Going to try and go for that full retake once again. They did have the numbers last time, but they don't have the weapons this time. We'll see what they can achieve. But good damage being exchanged, and Iceling down to 30 HP. So far, so good for Big, but still, that weapon difference is going to be a problem.
Yeah, I think so. But you got Maitland here holding up close, and that Spectre is able to get one. Okay, nice double right there. Somehow surviving long enough to pick up a third, and that's a flawless run for FUMA Gaming. I don't know how Mitsu survives there for that long and gets 3 kills, but you know what? Well played.
Right,
and you know, Jaeger, one thing I do want to point out, I like the gamble. I like the gamble earlier on that Big Scythe do. They go for a 5-man push because that tells them a little bit about how FUMA Gaming like to play their offense. They're not going AB hit. They find out what works, whether they run defaults or on anti-eco rounds or not. So even though it is a gamble and it was a flawless round, at least they have some information. Question is how they're gonna make that information work in this upcoming round here now that they're on the bye.
Well, right, the economy looking lovely for Big, and they have all the utility they need to get things started. They are going up against a little bit of run and gun potential here So hopefully they can get themselves in position to get the instant kills, but Camille will still find the first kill. That Spectre finding ahead and an upgrade for free as well.
That's big. That's big kill right there. Oh, they get the site. They get control of lamps here. Watching for that flank. Let's see if that flank plays out here from Baby Giver. He does get the kill. Now brought to a 4v4. These rifles now starting to come into play here. Presence looking to spam through. Not really going to find anybody but Baby Giver on that, really making life difficult for FUMA Gaming, who does not have a lot of that map control. But map control they have taken away, and the round as well will be taken here by BIGG. It's the first round on the board, but it's going to be quite expensive as they do lose 3.
A valiant attempt there from Hakane just to try and get those final kills going. A double kill at least, and some significant economy damage. But they'll be able to buy it going into this next round. They haven't really lost too many players so far. And so plenty of money to work with, and some BIGG's economy just yet. But they should be looking fine as well. They do lose a majority, but you know, they got the win. They had some money left over, I'm hoping. A couple of savings always helps.
It's going to be a scrappy buy. It's probably going to have a couple of players. Yeah, there you go. One on the judge, one on the share. Hey, don't have the judge, all right? We're going to see like a quad kill on lamps, depending on where you put that. But Baby Giver, obviously, is going to be only... doesn't have the ultimate. Maybe able to pick up one orb and then use the tour de force. Yeah, able to, yeah, there it is. Absolutely. Now, a bit of a presence here coming in from FUMA Gaming just to burn a little bit of utility, but they're throwing a lot out and not really getting much in exchange.
Well, that is the literal sense of burning money. Make sure you guys are always getting some returns on your investment. Some life advice for you there.
There's a double
trying
flank
to infer
here
it from Illustrato.
Well,
and yeah, absolutely right. I mean, we have had this flank being watched before. Maitsu always seems to be very in charge of it, and you can see here as well, meticulous, being extra careful, making sure no one's pushing down as well, but will be leaving. And this doesn't look like it's going to be too premature, but that flank will be an issue once they try and push into this side.
Yeah, the question is whether they're going to go ahead and push for it. The rotation is going to be too long, though. They're pushed up so far away. So if they're going to go for a flank play, they got to do it soon here. Otherwise, A-side might be a little too vulnerable. And with that, Whippy able to get that opening pick, able to find out Afrolin here. Spike going to go planted. Now a 4v5 again. And it's now coming to open up, getting another pick off. 3v5, 2 players on the flank. Let's see if it finally works out. Absolutely not. Tour de force still up here. Not gonna happen as the 1-tap, no, 2-tap coming in from Iceling. Able to close out that round, and FUMA Gaming resets the economy of Big Scythe.
Talk about her 2-taps. Iceling out there completely shutting down a tour de force. That's not an easy task. There is a little bit of extra speed when it comes to getting around those corners with that weapon in hand. And just, I mean, what a split-second reaction that is as well. Great way to shut down a flank and a potential loss coming their way. But FUMA Gaming straight back into it. I can see why you vouched for them at the very start. I want to see a bit more from BIGG, but they may be waiting for their chance to strike back.
I remember when I had reaction times like that.
Back in my day.
Back in my day. Back in our day. Jaeger, don't pretend like you're not one of the oldies now at this point. But Flash is now coming in here. It's a triple push towards Showers coming in from FUMA Gaming. Don't think they'll meet much resistance towards it. BIGG, they know they'll happily give it up. They'll play 3 players towards that side, hoping to get, you know, up close and personal with those pistols, maybe get a little bit more use. They do not want to take those long-range engagements, not with the money, not with the arsenal that they have in their possession right now.
Just a little bit of a faint shell to push you back, but again, they do want to go for this to put into the A site. It's worked before, not broken. And for a first shot, that's going to be a great one from Yumori. Looking for a second one, it's going to be a wall bang onto Camille as well. Faint shot to follow up, but just a little bit too far. Iceling will finally shut down that, but Crescent's still going to be fighting back.
Great shot there from Crescent, following it up on, oh my god, they just keep dishing them out. It is the Sheriffs that are really doling out the pain here on Big Scythe. They have 1v4. They cannot mess this one up here. Hakane, no chance in hell you get this one. Already starting to defuse it. Hakane hoping to get lucky, finds one, finds double, but it's too little too late as the spike has been fused. It's a thrifty win here for Big Scythe as they're able to steal away around from FUMA Gaming.
Always the risk when that spike goes down. As controller still alive, Margot just puts one smoke down. That was really all that was required. But these amazing shots coming in from the Sheriffs really cemented it. You can see as well, everyone died on the other side of this ice wall. And because of that, even with the res available for Sage, there could have been a little bit more to do. Unfortunately, no one to res, no one to help partner her in this post plan.
Yeah.
And I mean, just Baby Giver, just locked down there, just complete trust in your teammates. You love to see it.
I actually do think that Ice Wall hurt them a little bit more than it helped. We're a little bit isolated. They were a little bit separated from one another. The trades couldn't come in because obviously Sage was in towards showers, but we'll see if they can rectify that here. Do have a player already playing in here towards Teleporter. And that's the ultimate from Sky. Gonna be greeted with a free open bomb site here towards B. Should be able to plant the spike for free here. And Meitsu looking for a potential lurk. Might be able to catch one off guard. Baby Giver just waiting for a footstep right before she swings out, but makes her presence known. Meitsu knows that it's a possibility. Can she get into laps? Oh, sorry, not laps, hookah rather, but that's a quick shot from Baby Giver, followed up by Afrolin, and that's another 2v5 right now. Kane looking to close the numbers down. Iceling looking for a refrag, 1v3. Not able to line up the shots. Margot with a quick double to bring us to a tie scoreline, 3-3.
I kind of feel for Meitsu there because she was just taking her time, making sure that she wasn't getting heard on that flank, and then just comes barging through the teleporter. Iceling comes in and alerts the chamber to that flank. That's why he turned. That's why she turned around, and well, I'm guessing that she was heard after Iceling tried to push in afterwards because she just made the noise going through the portal shots and stuff. Oh, might as well just try and jump in here, trying to get an extra frag, but didn't really work out that way. And now, plenty of money available coming in for Big, and not really much available for FUMA Gaming.
Yeah, there's no way that Baby Giver should have been able to get through to hookah right there. I mean, the information was up. They knew that somebody was in Teleporter, but somehow big flank play coming in yet again. We now go into an eco round. FUMA Gaming have been slowed down. Their economy grinding to a halt here, basically on pistols, but can they be as effective as Big were a couple of rounds ago? Kami able to get out there. Presence, Margot working hand in hand to control B long, and they're able to dispatch all of the presence here, even getting the spike down.
It's gorgeous defense, and it's very timely as well, setting up that many players down on B long, just so they happen to push 3 players down as well for FUMA Gaming. I don't know if that's research or intuition, but either way, that's worked out gorgeously. And that spike dropped down long. This is not going to be quite the sheriff round that we saw from Big. It's going to be FUMA Gaming down 2 versus 5.
Yeah, it's a very steep hill to climb up if you're a FUMA Gaming here. Best you can hope for rather, maybe a couple of kills, maybe get a couple of shots with that sheriff close up. Margot gonna swing out. Oh, gets punished for it. Presence is able to get that kill. A nice sling. Pain shelled out of the picture. Forced back a little bit more. Mori with a swing. Able to get that kill now. 4-3. Big finally take the lead after a fairly slow start here. This is what we were hoping to see from them. And Jace, it's looking like they're sort of settling into their own skin a little bit more.
Yeah, this defense is slowly solidifying into a proper wall that's a bit annoying to get around, I must say, for FUMA, and it's completely out in the open. That's like the worst place to be caught out in. If you're Iceling, it's just like, yeah, I've got no cover here, got nowhere to go, no movement abilities either. I'm just going to be out here like a duck and hope for the best. And, well, it's hunting season. And let's see if Baby Giver can start things off with a kill. It doesn't look like anyone's going to be peeking down that position, though. Instead, FUMA Gaming trying to prioritize a little bit of map control first.
Yeah, very happy to play passively on this operator, letting our team do the rest of the work. As it's, again, a little bit of a slow, steady default here for FUMA Gaming as they want to get a little bit more information. Oh, big miss right there. That looked like it should have connected, but unfortunately it wasn't the shot that we were hoping for. Now Big do gain a little bit of intel, at least on where somebody is, but they're forced all the way back. So much map control given away for free here by Big. They're just holding towards the back of sites. How can FUMA Gaming capitalize on this? Now, they have gathered their troops here towards mid, and they get away from the utility that has been thrown towards them. for a little bit more time here. They will be throwing out that Cosmic Divide, slowing down a little bit, taking their time to get through to the site. They finally pulled the trigger. Kamiyu with a showstopper. Can she find one? Lands the shot on the Baby Giver. Yamori trades it out with a showstopper of her own. Okay, so it's a 1-for-1 exchange, but the res is up now. And got Kamiyu lurking here in lap. Can she punish the res? No, she can't, because Presence is going to be able to hold the line for her team. Big Scythe now in a 3v5. They look like they have this round, but time is ticking away. They got to go for it. Yamori is good. Flash is a team.
Last enemy remaining.
Fortunately, but it doesn't really matter in the end, because Margot closes it out, and it's going to be big with another round. 5-3.
One of the most notable things so far is the fact that BIGG have been playing like this since the pistol round. They always want to give up that side control and go for the retake as a team, And maybe when they were on the pistols, when they were going up against the anti-eco, just didn't really work out the way they wanted it to. FUMA Gaming got their guns back, their money was a little bit broken in response, but now that is just gun round after gun round, and as you said, they are settling into themselves, but these retakes have been phenomenal.
Yeah, it's the retakes, because you look at how passive BIGG is playing. They know how FUMA Gaming operates. They go together, they get a little bit of map control, and they kind of use a lot of their utility, just trying to secure a little control. BIGG are happy to let them burn all the utility on FUMA Gaming side. Wait back towards the Scythe and have everything that they need for the retake. That's what we've been seeing. So FUMA Gaming, they need to change things up. Maybe start rushing in. Maybe start going for a quicker play. That's exactly what they're doing right now as they barrel their way towards the Scythe. They have 3 players going through lamps right now. The Hunter's Fury comes in. Meisu gets an opening pick. That's absolutely massive as Yamori gets a kill with a pain shell here. So 3... No, nice shot yet again here as the numbers whittle down and away for the side of FUMA Gaming. 2v4 now. It's whiffy. Wi-Fi has to hold this angle with a judge. Iceling, nice pick onto Yamori right there, but they actually did get the spike drop. So it's all up to FUMA Gaming right now. Ooh, what a shot from April. So aware that there could be somebody playing from up close. Just patience. But now it's a 1v2. Iceling, can she isolate the fights? Oh, the timing on the wall. Not going her way. Oh, goes through the teleporter. Now B is free. So this is actually the right play for her, but it's still a 2v1. What's she going to do now?
Oh, first things first, that spike has to go down. It's actually going to be a fake. That does cause April to peek in, but it doesn't even matter. Instant tap there. Could have done with a bit of extra money for getting that spike down instead, but tried to play for the aggressive. It's always a gamble. Unfortunately, this time it doesn't pay off. So BIGG right now, they're looking so solid. Their money, their economy is starting to swell. And, well, FUMA Gaming, I mean, you can see that bringing a judge into a party. We did see a couple, just the fact that we had an exchange in Showstoppers earlier on as well. It's like, you can't wear the same thing. We can't go to the same party wearing the same thing. One of us is gonna stop the show. The other one of us is gonna get rezzed. And so, fair enough there. But money, not great going into this round once again for FUMA Gaming. This is very good for BIGG. They keep breaking that economy, but we are getting closer and closer to that potential 9-3. It has been a curse for the longest time. And so, can you counteract it? Or will BIGG prove to the rest of you and to us as well that that curse doesn't affect them?
I actually really like the play from FUMA Gaming, what they brought out. I think they had the right idea. The execution fell a little bit flat. They got the site, they got the plant, they got the kills. The spike was dropped in an awkward position because they could not secure shower because, Presence walled it up. They were able to really hold that. And Presence and Yamori locking down showers was such a big problem for them. But the idea was there. You challenge them early, make their retake a little bit harder by getting the kills earlier on in the round. And that worked out initially. Coming towards that mid-round, towards the late round, that's when it all started to fall flat. BIGG were able to regain that composure, really hold on to that, and just show that if you're patient enough, you can play that retake still perfectly, despite having less members on your team.
Oh dear, they both had to break the ice wall and just didn't want to give. And so, Whiffy trying to get into position to maybe shut down Omen, but Margot just a little bit too quick on the trigger. We'll find it first. Icing is going to find one response, and there goes Presence.
Down B.
One as well. So the 1-for-2 exchange, and Icing down low HP. Afrolin has to back away. That was a dangerous fight. I think that may have been a dink if you're down to 5 HP.
Yeah. Yeah, 5 HP, not a lot to work off of. I think Crescent does have a heal up for Afrolin, though, so we'll probably be going ahead and getting topped off. Well, not topped off all the way, but as much as Sage can do. Going towards A now.
That is a very slow rotate over. That spike is going to be going down as quickly as it can, but lying in wait, Baby Giver, he's ready to peek out from the showers, and maybe a rude awakening for music.
30 seconds left.
I thought I heard music for a couple of seconds there. Maybe I'm just hearing voices in my head. Oh no, I'm hearing voices in my head.
Dear. It's happening.
Oh dear.
It's happening.
It's happening. Now we have a 3v4. Now I've forgotten how to count. Going downhill from here, man. But Ray2 is able to get a nice couple of kills right there. Pushing her towards the back. This could be the round. Oh, need us after a nice ripper of a shot from Kamiyu. Margot in a clutch situation, 1v2. If anyone can pull this out of a hat, she can. Ray2, ooh, seeing barrel of the gun. Rounds the corner, somehow still alive, but Kamiyu with the operator is able to get the final kill and get FUMA Gaming back after what felt like such a long drought of rounds. FUMA Gaming find the oasis.
Oh, that was a pretty one. I pictured it as well. Thank you for that. That was a peaceful little thought in that mind that seems to be falling apart. But no, give yourself a little bit of credit. That was We'll hear music sometimes, especially when you're talking to me. It's just how love works. But here we go.
Whenever you speak, it's very no. Hear the harping of the angels.
Why do birds suddenly appear every time you're near? Rifles versus rifles, and a wall that goes up, and plenty of ammo expended to open it up just a little bit, but plenty of presence over towards the B site, and they are ready to push in once again. This was their setup during the pistol round as well, putting their players inside of hookah, not having them defending from an elbow and from within the site. That means once again they are going to try and take full control here and wait for their teammates to retake this site. It's worked time and time again. Did fail on the last round, but I think FUMA Gaming just hitting all the right shots and also making full use of the fact that they can rotate. They were pulling players all over the place. I think they need to take more advantage of that.
Absolutely, but pulling in the rotation now. Ooh, nice double spray down from Kamiyu. The paint shell to keep the players in hookah at bay. Retake will slow down as Big look for a little bit of an opening. It's up to Aperlin to find that opening, create that. Okay, no, it's everybody else who steps up. Margot and Presence. Aperlin, suddenly it's a 1v2. Whiffy is able to line up a shot onto one. Does not matter. Margot closes it out, and Big find again another round, securing at least the 7-5. Bring us to the very last round of the half here. I think this needs to be around here for FUMA Gaming. They would love that 7-5 right now, but even if it did end up in an 8-4, I don't think it's all over yet here for FUMA Gaming.
Yep, it's not over till it's over. Plenty of chances for that comeback, and just great plays coming in time and time again from these girls. When they do win these rounds, they absolutely do it in style. I see a little bit more teamwork going in from Big. I see a little bit more flair coming out of FUMA Gaming, and I think that could be a little signature for both of them as they jump into these fights. Right now, Kamiyu and Iceling on 9 kills each. Presence is actually standing quite far ahead of the rest with 14 kills at the moment.
Yeah, 14. That's already a big number here, especially in round number 12. A little bit of a free fire just to force out Presence. Is taken down quite low. Does have the res up here. It's still a big risk. She holds on to this position. It's a big risk on its own, hoping the rest of her team will give her the cover that she needs to survive on top of this ice wall here. Now towards B. Presence still has not been found out. Will drop. Oh, that's awkward. Still somehow alive. Sees the barrel of the gun, wins the duel somehow. No one to trade. No heal available still. Doesn't matter. Yamori swings out from the teleporter, finds a kill onto Meitsu. It's now a 3v5 as the teleport here comes towards A. But they do still have to contend with Aperlin, who's hanging out here towards Laps. 3 players now pushing in towards Showers. Not a lot of map control, not a lot of utility to make this site happen. But they do have the Viper's Pit. This is going to give them a little bit of a chance here in this round, especially if they don't get sprayed down through it.
It's always an awkward situation when you just put your Viper's Pit up and you get immediately shut down. That ice wall does prevent that from happening. A little bit of information given, but Iceling, my goodness, FUMA Gaming seems invigorated going into the... Okay, never mind. Maybe not. Maybe give. Try to prove them wrong. Crescent as well. Iceling is going to run back in though. Now a little bit more, but Iceling just keeps doing it. Finally, that Viper's Pit is going to go down. And that is going to be the first half complete. Well played as well by BIGG, getting themselves at 8-4, supporting the curse, and just a great retake as well, even into a Viper's Pit.
Switching sides.
Did you see how awkward that was for Hakane and unfortunate? Because Hakane was waiting inside that Viper's Pit right there. Her teammate gets pinged out, and so the bullets start flying in. What was meant for her teammate just finds its way to her cranium. It's just really unfortunate.
That bullet wasn't meant for you, but I mean, it looks like he took it anyway, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, still, like I said, man, 8-4. It's not the end of the world for FUMA Gaming. There were a couple of rounds I do think they let slip away from them. Especially going back to that A-take that they had where they didn't have control towards showers. There were a couple of the rounds that I do think should have went their way. But we could have seen a closer scoreline. It is 8-4, but it could have been 6-6. Could have been a 7-5. Could have been a much different picture here at the halftime. But either way, FUMA Gaming starting off strong, but sort of tapering down as the rounds progressed here. And it's the other way around for BIGG Scythe, who found their footing, got a lot more comfortable on that defensive side.
So now I wonder what happens going into the second half, because as things stand right now, FUMA Gaming started to get a little bit of heat under their wings, and that seemed to be pushing them towards that final round. They didn't win the final round, obviously, but it came much closer than they had in some of those previous rounds as well. So they may have a little bit of momentum to build off going into the second half as well. BIGG Scythe, they'll be very motivated jumping into the second half, because now they get to control that pace. And because we have been seeing the way their team play, even when they're going for retakes, they almost look like an attacker side. It looks like a full take back into the side. So I'm happy and hopeful to see some of those plays coming in as they hit these sides on their attacker side now. As for FUMA Gaming, we have seen a lot of flair coming out of them. I did say it before. And when it comes to the defense, that can't always fire off. So I need to see a little bit more teamwork coming in from them as well.
I agree with you completely, man. When you're running a double controller lineup like FUMA Gaming do, like, you have to be completely on point with your utility usage, with your timing. And you can't rely on that flair, like you said. A lot of it has to be about, how you control the map, how you take specific areas of the map and utilize that. I don't feel like we saw that, I don't feel like they played to their strengths as much as they needed to win that half. Meanwhile, like I said, BIGG with a very wide berth, you can really play this lineup pretty much however you want. You can have the Sage play passive. You can, have the Chamber basically do whatever the hell he wants and get away with it. And, you have Margot to rely on when things get a little bit hairy as well. So I do think that BIGG had a little bit, of an easier time, especially on the defensive side. Now, FUMA Gaming, ball's in their court. They got 2 controllers on the defensive side. They don't really have a hard Sentinel. They have the Sage. So I do think they needed to win a little bit more rounds in the previous half.
That's true. I don't even mean like a hard Sentinel. Like, Chamber can be a great Sentinel, but there's so much more you can get from other information gathering Sentinels as well, and damage that can be given as well. Chamber is more of the mainstay operator now, but there's plenty of presence making their way over towards showers. And once again, controller watching for potential flanks to come their way, but this utility, they are getting a little bit shaken here, just trying to back away and trying to keep themselves in a safe distance. And with all that presence being shown now, they feel confident to start their rotate, perhaps over towards the B side.
Yeah, I'll see what they can find here towards B. They know that they had somebody on the FUMA Gaming side push up very aggressively. And so they will spend a little bit more time trying to clear those angles and make sure that nobody is in a sneaky spot where they could get a sneaky kill. But here, Baby Giver on that lurk, trying to get information, firing a couple of shots off just to keep them still onto that side. Meanwhile, the rest of the members of BIGG Scythe, they've already found their way onto B. There's double presence here towards Hookah, so they will have to try to clear it out. Fortunately, they've smoked it off. And so they will just kind of be playing on the side itself here. Still very much possible for the retake for FUMA Gaming, especially with the map control they have. But look at Baby Giver. Look how far back she is. She might catch off both of these players here working towards B long if she's swift enough.
Need a little bit of swiftness. And Swift is vastly underused, but Maitsu and Whippy will be using those full effects as it will be the first 2 kills, but immediate flashback coming in from Big as well. As Iceling finding that double kill, Iceling is so consistent so far. Unfortunately, Baby Giver unable to finish off that defense on that retake, and so unfortunate, but it's what it is for Big. But for FUMA Gaming, a great start to the second half.
And like I said, man, I think the timing on the lurk just took a little bit too long here. Baby Giver just couldn't get the right approach on it. If she had been a little bit more swifter, like I said, could have gotten 1, maybe even 2 here. But the rest of the members of FUMA Gaming happy to take the fights. They know they only had Scythe to work with because they didn't take Hookah, they didn't take, you know, CT, so they had to go and play aggressive, play with each other, go for those trade kills. That's exactly what they did. That's why they got the round here. Now they're gonna go into full anti-equal buy. They got 5 Spectres across the board, and only only 1 upgraded pistol for the side of Big.
Well, maybe that's all they need. You know, a frenzy. It could be your savior, your saving pistol. Well, yeah, I mean, we've seen this particular scenario in that first round, just being forced out of showers, giving them back that map control. That's all they want. However, this is a huge flank coming out from Sky and Viper right now, and they are completely unawares, and they seem to be going a little bit faster as well.
Yeah, I think they will get spotted out by that anti-flank, I do think. Maitsu gonna hold the line, gets 2 quick kills. Very nicely done right now on these anti-eco kills. Whiffy's able to find 1 before he gets traded off, and Margot will at least find a little bit of consolation prize somehow, getting 1 kill before she goes down, brings it to an 8-6. FUMA Gaming starting off a little bit stronger. Now the question here, Jaeger, is can they keep this momentum going? Because they've shown that they can start off strong, but come to the middle of the half, may taper off a little bit more. If they can hang on to this, comeback could be in full swing.
Well, yeah, I mean, you have to think about the fact that they've now won both pistol rounds, and that normally means that you're going to win the game. However, as the score stands, and now that we have the rifles coming out for Big once again, those 3 rounds, how much they actually amount to, because Big have been so consistent when it comes to having these rifles in hand. And, well, straight down through that smoke. It's very scary to peek through that. Luckily, just walks away with a couple of scratches, can still fight back, and information given as well. That's forcing Whiffy back, but the spray down comes in. That's gonna be a triple kill with the Spectre.
3 kills with the Spectre up against Vandals. The perfect place to put it up against the long-range Vandals. Get up close, trying to limit the range of effectiveness of the Vandal. Yamori looking to tap away, gets Aceling. Still a 2v4 though, but they have all the information that they do need. They even have the spike. Free upgrades all around for everybody. Chain Shell will be thrown out here. Whiffy is pretty much okay, somehow still survives. Rounds the corner, healed up by Hakane. Slow orb thrown out just for good measure. And they're gonna hold on to this. It's basically impossible. You are not getting the spike. I see no reality where they pick this up and even get a plant, not with 34 seconds left.
What should happen? B-hop in, 360 spray, gets all 3 headshots, gets the spike down, and then post plants 2 versus 1.
I'd pay to see that. Absolutely.
Well, unfortunately, I don't think you will be able to, because I think you're 100% right. 15 seconds left. It's just looking more and more dire, and hoping maybe just for a couple of exit frags here, but this buy hasn't worked out just yet. FUMA Gaming still riding that high, and let's see how far they can ride it, because it may be a trend that takes them all the way home.
It goes back to that really great bait and switch setup that we saw there towards showers. You kind of get that tunnel vision from Big Scythe there, where he's pinged, kill him, killer, just ping. And with that flash coming through, they don't actually, Cameo doesn't even need the flash. They weren't even flashed. Just gets 3 kills with the Spectre. Staying right, man. Just staying right.
There's something about playing against the Spectre as well, because at that close range, they are mobile and they're doing the damage, and it just seems to gravitate towards heads. And I mean, aware of that situation, if you don't have a better weapon, might as well make use of the fact that you have better mobility. And just done to perfection there, Kamiyu making a name as Yamori is going to find once again a headshot wallbang onto Hakane. I really feel bad for Hakane on a lot of these deaths.
Yeah, a lot of it is coming down to, I'd say, misfortune.
Yeah.
But it's sort of just how the cookie crumbles here in Valorant. But oh, the timing doesn't work out for Baby Giver, but gets the headshot anyway onto Kamiyu. Has been a thorn in their side for quite a few rounds now. 3v5 as the side of Big Scythe have a couple of rifles to work with here. They have scrapped together a sort of buy. They should be able to still buy in the next one even though they do lose. But they have to wiggle their way through this Viper's Pit here. Not the easiest site to maneuver through, especially not with that Viper's Pit in your way. And so they will acquiesce. They'll rotate here towards A, letting them have that B side instead and going for the fight here towards that A. Couple of defenders on it. You've got Whiffy
30
and
seconds left.
Meitsu to hold the line. Can they do that? Up again, it's up close and personal with a Sheriff, but the ping is good. Can they spray the planter? Absolutely not. The spike goes down. And that's a nice kill here for Big Giver. Looking to bite back in this round 2v5. If Big take this, this is going to be an absolutely big win for them. They've only got a couple players to find here. Baby Giver with a third. Can she find a fourth? Aceling, don't think she even has the lineups to be able to defend this. Sorry, not defend this, to go for the retake on this one rather as 1v5. Might just elect to go for the save here.
Iceling coming ace. Nope, not gonna happen. It's gonna be a flawless round coming in for Big. They finally are able to extend their lead, and so we did see FUMA Gaming before. They did win it out after getting their own rifles and fighting back, and then we saw something of a runaway for Big, and I'm hoping that's going to be the case for the second half because FUMA Gaming, I mean, they get to block these defenses. They get to be the ones that close down sites and put those smokes out, and they have two controllers. There should be great ways to limit vision and limit amount of space that you can take here for Big, and so they need to take full advantage of that jumping forward, and this is going to be a lot of map control. They've gone all over the map, just trying to take as much of it as they can, and that Boombot's not going to find any information to work with either, except for the fact that there's a big ice ball in the way.
Yeah, sent right back, sent back to the owner, back to sender. And I think a lot of it comes down to the information that FUMA Gaming is giving. They know that there's a Viper and a Sage here towards B. So Big are happy to just go and fight towards A, even though there are 3 players on it. Still might be a little bit easier to deal with. And, you know, like what we saw earlier, you had a Sage and Viper's Pit to deal with towards that B side. But this time they're looking like they're up to the task here. They want to fight for this B site. They want to get in on it, so they're sending everything. They're throwing out everything to be able to take it. Nice shot right there from Hakane to be able to take down Yamori. Trades coming out here for Big, however, as they get a nice double. Let's bring us to a 3v4 now. Spike has gone down. Retake now commences.
Full spray down, doesn't actually break the second ice wall. It's a little bit awkward, but they will have to enter here regardless, and the elbow is going to be pushed on as well. Crescents is in a very difficult position to counter, not to mention the crossfires in play as well, but Baby Give It the first to get taken down. A nice little shot there coming in too, and well, 3 vs 3 Crescents finally gets to take advantage of that position straight on from behind. They're both not turning around. My goodness, that could have been a lot worse.
Absolutely no bullets with Meitsu. Can she isolate? Has to pick a fight. Can't do it. It's Afrolin to take it to double digits. Big secure the massive lead right here, 10-7. And I know it's only 3 rounds away, but when you only need 3 rounds to win, it's certainly going to be a big boost to your morale, especially after winning a flawless round. That's what I think changed the face of this half. You know, FUMA Gaming were in prime position to be able to get back into this game and really give it to Big, but Big winning a thrifty round like that off the back of a couple of awkward buys here, able to take the momentum, steal away the thunder of FUMA Gaming, and now suddenly they're on the back foot.
We do have a couple of ults here to work with for the side of FUMA Gaming that they can perhaps take advantage of. A missed shot there from Baby Giver, but that's not going to miss. Iceling gets taken down, and no one else dares try and mess with that, but they can still push towards that A side. This first kill, no, it's going to be towards Crescent's. Meitsu gets taken down, and that spike should be going down any moment now, because instead of going for that big retake, it's just going to be falling one by one. Crescent, my goodness, I can't even have the chance to fight back.
Spike planted.
And they know that Kamiu's here after that teleport. Struggling to get the shots right there on the Sheriff. That reload whiffy is able to get one. It's going to be now 11-7. Nothing too much to say about that round other than fairly solid anti-eco. BIGG utilizing that tour de force absolute perfection. Couldn't connect on the first shot, but knew that all she needed to do was survive. Falls back, gets a nice tap, nice kill rather, and lets the rest of her team do the work, do the rest of the heavy lifting. Now BIGG are in a great position to take map number 1.
Yeah, things do seem to be looking up at the moment, as we do have a convenient score, and Kamiu is going to have a full buy. It's going to be a full buy for everyone, and plenty of ults available as well. If Sage can get that ult, you know, this should be a 6 versus 5 round as well, potentially, because they need to start getting that momentum back. They need to start swinging back in their favor. As you said earlier, you were afraid that FUMA Gaming weren't going to have that just the momentum going into the latter parts of this half, and you've hit the nail on the head, because BIGG are looking great right now, and FUMA Gaming seem to have faltered on a huge note.
Yeah, BIGG are really good at reading FUMA Gaming. They kind of I wouldn't say let FUMA Gaming win the first couple rounds, but it certainly does look like that, where a lot of the early rounds go to FUMA Gaming, but this is kind of where BIGG just gathers that information, just tries to get as much on how FUMA Gaming plays, and then from there just starts to build a case on how they're going to approach the rest of the half, and it's working out fantastically. They're 2 rounds away from being able to take game number 1 away. Let's see what FUMA Gaming is able to do on this defense right now. They've stacked up 3 players here towards B, which is strange because it's never really been the problem. B really hasn't been the issue. Now, as Yamori gets a nice opening pick here. Oh, teleport to back away. But now it's an awkward position. Where's Kamiu gonna go? He sent off BIGG, does not want to intercept and falls back. Crescent is able to get that kill instead. Meitsu goes down. Now it's a 3v5. B side completely open with what I do feel was a little bit of a misplay there towards Belong.
Spike planted.
Is your fire alarm going off one moment?
There's meanwhile, while Jaeger is literally putting out fires, it's Kamiu who is already another kill here. 3v5, 3v4 rather, is the shopper. She's fine right now. Nobody behind that wall. Margot is able to see one. Gets a nice tap. It's Dig, sure, but can't find the kill. Kamiu is able to get another one right around this corner. Presence is able to get one. That's Margot to seal match point away, and they do get that 12-7. Really great work here from BIGG. They find another comfortable round, safely dissecting surgically the defense of FUMA Gaming. We're just scratching their heads, wondering what the hell they have to do to break down this offense. They've tried everything. They've thrown out a bunch of things. They throw out the aggression towards Belong. They try to go aggressive towards Shower. They even play passively on site. Even the Viper's Pit did not deter the side of BIGG. And meanwhile, BIGG Scythe, they just have a much better, much more confident approach here towards this game. Let's see if Jaeger has put out the fires.
Fires have been put out, and yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. I think the biggest problem here is they do not have enough utility when it comes to the retakes, and they aren't taking full advantage of the fact that they have those 2 controllers. Those smokes aren't in the right places for those retakes. They're not making enough space for themselves. They should be the ones putting the pressure down with the ult out, with the spike down. They should be the ones putting the pressure on with the defuses. Instead, we're seeing them getting pressured, have to push towards them.
It's again a difficult read right now for FUMA Gaming. They don't get the right play here, but Yamori, knowing one is up close, Fi still can't get the kill. Yamori is able to find one with Margot. 3v5. This round is pretty much all sealed up until Meitsu brings it back. Able to find one. Here comes the flank. There's 3 players coming from short. Not so sure if I'm a fan of this, but Cosmic Divide, a little bit of a desperation attempt, a little bit of a Hail Mary. But will anybody answer their prayers as we get to match point now? time. They really need to get this to happen at least here, but Marco will not let them. It's Aisling who gets closer and closer to doing that. Marco gets a third kill, and that's pretty much the game. As Marco, with the 4K,
One enemy
seals the deal and gets big map number 1 up against FUMA Gaming.
Margot, what a play on the final round to just shut things down, a 4K to her name. And I mean, just in general, for Big, they looked so in charge of the situation. As soon as those rifles came out both times, it was just an unstoppable train. It's an actual movie, by the way. And FUMA, I mean, they started things off with each pistol round, you know, they looked pretty good. They always start things off on the right foot and then it just sort of stumble. And it's really unfortunate to see. They have to be able to build on those successes from those first rounds. It's those rifle rounds that really need a little bit of work. And the fact that they were unable to put pressure back on towards Big when it came to the post-plant scenarios in both sides. It was the fact that they didn't know how to apply pressure. So that's really unfortunate to see from them. But they do have plenty to build off of. And of course, this isn't the only map. This is the only one they're going to be playing. Here you can see the final scores coming through as Crescent put down 22 kills and a 2.3 KD, the MVP for this first map.
Yeah, I want to go back to your point there. I think one of the biggest problems there for FUMA Gaming was they had a game plan. Yeah, they had a very successful game plan earlier on in the half, but when it starts to fall apart, when Big find out how to play up against that game plan, I don't feel like there was a good alternative plan for FUMA Gaming. They got found out, but there wasn't, I'd say, hardly any adjustment from FUMA Gaming. They played one style, one way, and they really weren't able to make those adjustments. Meanwhile, Big, they're showing that they're just that much more adaptable, they're that much more comfortable getting, even losing the first rounds here. They're showing that on the fly, in mid-round, they can make better decisions than FUMA Gaming, and I think that's really what won them the first game. But talking about standout players right now, you talked about Crescent. Kamiyu was really great for the side of FUMA Gaming, but just fell short a little bit. The rest of the team, I don't think there was any singular player that fell short on FUMA Gaming side. I really think it was just sort of Big playing as the better team for the majority of that game.
Yeah, I mean, I think that pretty much is it at the end of the day. It is the fact they played better as a team. They looked cohesive. They were answering for each other. You could see those refrags coming here and there, and the adjustments as well. And yeah, I mean, the mid-round strat calls for FUMA Gaming just a little bit lacking there towards the end of both of those halves. And Big, they knew how to adjust. Every single time they were going for one of those takes, hitting one of those sites, you would see them, okay, we're not getting into here, we've lost 2 players, let's switch it over, let's go towards the other site, let's make sure someone is still watching those flanks. Like, in a lot of the situations, they were still being very careful, making sure they had that map control. I think that's another thing as well. They love taking that map control, and I think that is why they had so much information to work with. Yeah, every now and then someone slipped past their nets, but at the end of the day, they were always getting the big catches, which of course then it results in a 13-7 scoreline.
Yeah, I agree. You know, we talk about the map control, and FUMA Gaming, they like to do the same thing, but as to what they did with the map control, I do feel like when it came to the mid game, it did feel like they were scrambling a tiny bit here. I wouldn't even say there was a difference in firepower. Just overall, I feel like the decisions were just that much better for the side of Big. And when you have a double controller lineup, you know, when you don't really have a hard sentinel, if you're FUMA Gaming, your decision making has to be absolutely on point. And I think that's where FUMA Gaming suffered the most. If you said that though, we're moving into Icebox. This is more of a map where you can't get away with those and play a little bit more flashy, play a little bit more like you want to just pop out of a corner and Ferrari beat somebody. So I think that might work out for the side of FUMA Gaming.
So, just a quick look at the highlights before we head into that break. But there you go, well played by the girls in Big. And as you said, Icebox is coming up, and the question is going to be, are we going to see Big jumping into the next match feeling confident? You know, they don't have a great track record on it, but they could start one right now. Or will FUMA Gaming be hoping to bring us onto our third map? That is the question.
Yeah, well, we're going to go into a short break. When we do come back, it's going to be game number 2 here at the Valorant Game Changers Asia Pacific Series here on FSL. Illustrato and Jaeger, we're your casters here right now, and we are going to be back after this, so don't go anywhere.
I hope.
Get it crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a get it crunk with a couple hundred thugs. Crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a get it crunk with a couple hundred thugs. Everybody round, everybody round, everybody round, everybody round here. Everybody round, everybody round here. Know we getting hype. Everybody round, everybody round. We wanna get it crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a get it crunk with a couple hundred thugs. Crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a get it crunk with a couple hundred thugs. Everybody round, everybody round, everybody round, everybody round here. Everybody round, everybody round here. Know we getting hype. Everybody round, everybody round, everybody round, everybody round, everybody round here. Know we getting hype. Coming off the bench now. Waiting for this moment, swinging for the fence now. Coming off the bench now. Gotta get up, cause we about to get down. Coming off the bench now. Waiting for this moment, swinging for the fence now. Coming off the bench now. Gotta get up, cause we about to get down.
Welcome back, guys. Excuse me, words are hard. Not a great start. Valorant Game Changers Asia Pacific Series here on FSL, and you're tuning into me, Illustrato, and alongside me, Jaeger. As we put out the fires in the backgrounds of our lives, we're getting into the fires of the game as it's getting hotter in game number 2. Diving into Icebox. It's a little bit of an oxymoron, but that's probably what we're going to be seeing.
Yeah, you'll have to see things heat up on Icebox.
It's icy hot.
It's icy hot, yes. It's like mint. It's a cold spice. But
You ever put icy hot in under your armpits?
No. What? Sorry, I actually didn't think that was an actual thing. I thought you were just making a joke there. What's icy hot for armpits?
You don't know what icy hot is?
No, sir.
Okay, well, time for you to Google and find out the best thing about this world. Icebox now 13-7. Sorry, Buying going 37. We find ourselves on Icebox, and this is where I think FUMA Gaming has a little bit of a better chance of getting into it. And have you just Googled it? Is that why you're laughing?
No, I'm just laughing because it just seems incredibly random to me. But that doesn't mean that it isn't very important to you, which means I won't laugh at it. I'll respect it. And
thank you.
Icy hot. What is this? There's icy hot ice cream. Looks interesting.
That sounds terrible.
Icy hot original. There's a picture of the guy from My Hero Academia. So I just anyway, getting back into it. 13-7. Yes, quite. So the potential here for FUMA Gaming as they go into
it's
the
cream.
second
It's
map,
not
right?
ice cream.
It's cream, not ice
It's
cream. Okay.
It's like, you know, those topical things that are when you put it on your skin, it's like cold and hot at the same time.
I see. It's like okay.
Hot.
I know what you mean. It's like it's almost like sunburn relief.
Yeah.
You get like a minty feeling on your hot skin, but it gives you both of those
Just imagine all the places where you could put that. I'm gonna let you think about that for a second as we go into Icebox.
Behind the ears, quite.
Yes. Excuse me, but yeah, here we go. FUMA Gaming, they're gonna need to make a little bit of a comeback here as they start again. It's been the story of FUMA Gaming for I'm not even gonna say for time immemorial. It's just ever since that they've started playing, I think, together as the squad. A lot of great ideas, a lot of great starts, but holding on to that, pushing through the rounds, adjusting on the fly, never really been one of their strong suits. Fortunately, you talk about Icebox, that's kind of a map where you can sort of play off of each other, rely on your chemistry, rely on your aim,
Select your
not
agent.
necessarily on the setups. So that's what I'm hoping to see for FUMA Gaming. And their lineup right now is looking like it's a little bit more forgiving. You got that double Sentinel, you got one controller, and you got the Jet. Possibly one of the most lineups you can actually have. Now on the big Scythe side, however, you got Margot on that Viper, you got it's basically a mirror matchup here. Nothing really separating the two teams. It's all going to be about who can execute it a little bit better.
That's right. I do like the little adjustment there, though. Going for the Raze instead of the Jet does mean it's a little bit more current, a little bit more modern, you know? It's become a little bit more difficult, especially when you have to prep up that dash.
Is it already up? I mean, like the patch? Like
I mean, the last time I played it was up, so.
Right. So I just don't know if they've put it in this tournament where you have the Jet and nerf, quote unquote.
That is fair. Well, we'll see once we jump in, because you'll know. If you see any kind of white effects around the Jet's perspective, you will be seeing that does mean it is activated, because you don't have to prep. You can't just dash whenever you want to. You have to prepare it. Much like Chamber has to prepare his rendezvous, you must now prepare your dash away. And so, big FUMA Gaming, here they have it. FUMA Gaming hoping for a chance at revenge to bring us into that third map. Big Scythe hoping for that quick 2-0 and hoping to move on in the lower brackets.
So we saw Fade actually being hovered over. So I'm thinking, since we saw Fade being hovered over, I do think that a team will maybe pick it. Because I think we're allowed to pick Fade now already at this point. I am just really interested because I personally enjoy Fade. I do think he can bring a lot to the table. I'm just really interested whether it'll come into play or not, especially in big maps like Icebox, where I think it could be very, very viable. But speculation aside, go into game number 2 here. FUMA Gaming, can they make a comeback? As they will be starting on the defensive side. And, you know, when you start on the defense on Icebox, it's not the best feeling, but at least you know that if you win a couple of rounds, maybe 3 or 4, then you'll probably be going to your attacking side a little bit more comfortable. But look at that, Baby Giver getting away from that mid push. the hair of her chinny chin chin, but oh, not for long, goes back for more, and is punished by Hakane.
That is a quick shutdown for the headhunters there, and Yamori will find one on the entry towards the A site. So once again, we're getting into position
Spike
of that
planted.
spike going down. Post plant for Big, and what can they do in response? Oh my goodness, this is the classic casually winning over a sheriff. But Whiffy and Hakane made it not so casual as they get a triple kill on the way back in. But Yamori is hunting. Once this ace has worked so hard for it, makes her way up. Ice wall goes up. And she thinks that she's safe, but not looking up. We'll still find it. That's going to be the ace coming in from Yamori.
What a big way to start there. Yamori with an ace, proving that they do not let the momentum go.
Did you say Yamori?
Yeah, me.
One enemy player standing.
Words are hard, man.
No, it just sounded like, it just sounded like you're saying my love
I
in
don't-
Italian.
Well, after an ace like that, yeah,
Mi amore.
Yeah.
We do stand an acing queen. And so there you go. Big start things off in a big way. And they'll be now hoping to extend that as Spectres are picked up and they start to shoot towards the queen long. But oh my goodness, immediately punished. How dare you get an ace, says
Oh.
Whiffy.
and with a classic too. So that's what we mean when you get a little bit too confident on Icebox. Things like that could happen, and you could just get wrecked by a classic. And what happens now? A little bit of a push here towards mid as some map control is being taken by Big. They do not want to get a little bit too crazy. There are two players waiting on the backside of this. Wall will come up to deny them that counter push here, but there are a couple of players here. Crescent, what can you do? Gets around the bend here, playing around towards Orange. Margot can't find the kill, but they're all pinged up, so that's some information.
One
But
player standing.
what are you gonna do with that information if you don't have the weaponry to support it? Iceling does find a kill on the Crescent though, so it is a 1v3. Picked up a Spectre, so could be making this already more expensive than it already is. It's a 1v3 yet again, so time, not an Iceling side, but she knows this. She just wants to get a couple more kills, maybe one or two. And if she does that, then it's gonna be big trouble for Big Scythe. Oh, there we go.
Oh, there you go, yeah. Margot just backs up a little bit just to see that head, and that's going to be the second round for Big. So Rifle should be coming out now, and plenty of utility as well. This a proper round coming from FUMA, and Whiffy, we've seen it, a couple of signs of potential greatness here. Now they've got the pieces they need to start playing this game.
Yeah,
Hakane.
especially with the expensive round that this is basically not a bonus. I mean, it's kind of a bonus round. You still have the 3 Spectres, but with 2 Sheriffs on, it's virtually an equal round already. So any kill that Big can get is gonna be already a big boost to, just the morale. And what the hell? How is Camu at 5 HP? She took a Sheriff shot to the head, didn't she?
I think that may be the case. Meitsu will be finding the first kill. And so they are off to a good start. Camille will get that heal up as well. So 65 HP for the rest of this round, perhaps. And they rotate back over. Do they want to go towards mid or towards A? See, Chain is actually backing out of the A site. And that Boombot not going to reveal too much, except for that someone was in a position to shut it down. So back over towards A. And I do like that they are being quite fluid about this. They're not too stuck in their ways about where they want to put themselves. Baby Giver. And there's one in the back of the site, spray down long range with a Spectre. That is a bragging point because that's not an easy thing to do. It's not something that should be happening, but it's happened, and now they're pushing in.
Yeah, definitely gonna be thinking about that long range duel against the Spectre, and the Spectres are working, man. They're getting the kills that they need. Now suddenly it's just 3v3. Meitsu is able to punish Crescent, who was trying to pick up that Vandal. Now it's a 2v3, and the HP is not exactly in the best spot for Big. 1-for-1 exchange now. After a in here, just trying to buy some time, but Hakane is able to do it. And FUMA Gaming, they get the round, sure, but they've lost 3 rifles against the 2 Sheriffs and 3 Spectres.
Out of charges.
They're getting a bit of deja vu, but it went the other way last time we saw this. And yeah, Big, they were able to win the round, but they lost the preceding round because they just didn't have the right weaponry. And I think BIGG are going to be fine going into this next round. The fact that they had so few weapons and still managed to do all that damage, it isn't a great side for FUMA, but BIGG will be happy with that every day.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
Penguin.
as we say hello to the penguins. Hello, penguin.
Playing one.
In the words of Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah, penguin.
Penguin. Imagine going your entire life and finding out you can't say penguin. But
So there's people that can't say milk. Let's say malk.
Malk. That's a thing, apparently.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing up until very late in my life.
Bagel and bagel.
Who says bagel? Well,
Just the worst people.
I don't even know if you can call them that. But 4v5. It's a great, ooh, nice
Spike down A.
little Bop the Weasel. What is that game? In the
There's a
arcade?
weasel. I guess that's right. This is whack-a-mole or whatever.
Whack-a-mole. There we go. That's what I was thinking of. Bop the Weasel. Obviously, I went to some very Walmart versions of arcades growing up. Yeah. Sakane gets a quick trade-off, 1-for-1 exchange here. Margot brings it to a 1v2, and suddenly FUMA Gaming, they're in a
30
really good
seconds
position
left.
to snatch this round from BIGG. Margot, though, has to play this very smart. The moment he drops down, they're going,
Oh, timing. Is
can't get away from that.
A nice attempt, but 2-2. FUMA keeping the score even. And, well, with the money left behind, do they risk going for a half buy on armor and going for full rifles, or they give themselves a bit of breathing room, let FUMA take the lead, and then fight back? I would go with the latter, but, I mean, you know, they'll have reasonings for their choices.
I mean, like I said, you know, this isn't one of those maps where you can get away with going out and fighting people. This is kind of, if there's a map that you're gonna do this on, it's Icebox, or sometimes Breeze, but mostly Icebox, where you can sort of run out, rely on like 1-for-1 exchanges, get some kills, just like that with Yamori. Doesn't matter what you have in your hands, you're gonna get a kill anyway. A lot of duels that you can win that are virtually untradeable if you play your angles right, and that's a good example of it. Now here towards B, they got Whiffy holding the line. Nobody really wanting to contend too hard against her. Nice tap, though, however, onto Afro Lin. Will be forcing the rest of the members of BIGG back to the side where Kami was waiting with a great advanced angle. Gets away scot-free, no trade available. That should basically be the round unless an absolute disaster happens for FUMA Gaming.
We'll see as they push towards the A site. They have found one kill at least to work with that they can build on, and I mean nothing really for them to redeem right now. No way they can actually upgrade, especially with players playing so far back. Even getting a kill here with a rifle potentially on the floor, you're not gonna be able to retrieve that. So ice ball goes up, that spike yet to go down. They just want that extra money and wide peek around this nice. Oh, has spotted that. It's a breakdown for the double, and that's gonna be Camus finding the double kill, Aceling finishing them off, and a third round. They'll be able to take the lead away here, but BIGG, they're going to have their weapons available.
Yeah, great round here from FUMA Gaming yet again. They're proving that, you know, they lost map number 1 in a pretty dominant fashion from BIGG, but they're still holding their own, keeping their wits about them. There's a lot of great shots, a lot of good defense now being shown to us by FUMA Gaming. It's BIGG Scythe now who are kind of struggling. Not exactly sure what they're gonna do about this one right now. They've quite a number of rounds in a row already. BIGG starting off strong. It feels like it's the direct inverse of what we saw in the first game, where where FUMA Gaming would start strong and then sort of fall off towards the mid area of the round, half rather. It's the opposite day.
It is opposite day, you're absolutely right. And plenty of targets revealed. There's a head spotted, but maybe missing out on that potential kill unless sneaking forward. They are kind of stuck in this long position. Camille will take down Margot. They have lost their controller. And after Lin playing with fire here. There will be a res coming up, trying to stop that res from happening, and gets killed twice in the same spot. That is probably the worst potential feeling there. Mitsu self-boost up and hoping to find a kill, but expecting it. Yamori, great game sense.
Okay, a little bit too pedal to the metal there from Mitsu. I was just about to say it's a great punish on the res, but maybe giving up a little bit more than they needed to on that one. Still, though, it's a 3v4. It's a lot of great positioning here for FUMA Gaming. They got so much control. They basically locked down Big into this tiny corner of the map.
30
The
seconds
rotation is even cut off right now, but can they punish Kamiyu, who's holding the angle tightly? Ooh, what a shot! Dodges the showstopper. After Lin, who gets the trade kill 2v3 as they get closer to the site. They haven't planted it just yet. They will be taking their sweet time, but with 15 seconds left, it's looking like it's going to be a little bit bittersweet
10
as
seconds
the
left.
nano swarm does slow them down even more. They can't get on it. They've got to fall back. They've lost the round already. FUMA Gaming hold on very intelligently on this round, and they steal another one away from Big.
So less money made as well, because you stay alive. You can't really drop over for your teammates. It's not too much money to be gained there from losing that. And while the rest of the teammates unable to buy up, so this is going to be somewhat a half buy, and they'll be able to do damage because thankfully they have got those weapons in hand, but they're not going to have a proper gun round again anytime soon. So FUMA Gaming, more and more to build on.
Yeah, it's great building blocks here, a good foundation that FUMA Gaming is already showing us. Now, Big, they're looking like they're crumbling at the crux as they only have a couple of Vandals to work with, and it's a great pickoff from Kamiyu, really building off of the momentum, looking for more, pushing the envelope here towards mid. As gonna find another one quite handily. Baby Giver left rocked by that shot. The Viper Spit deployed on A. But they try to work their way around it instead of going through it. Able to get a shot onto Icelink, taking a lot of damage, however, but Yamori finds another one, and suddenly Big have managed to find a little bit of a chance here in this round. Very difficult to do that here, but they have control towards A. They have the spike. They should be able to plant it down. They don't have a lot of time to get out of the site because Kamiyu's finding a sick shot onto Yamori. Whippy's found another nice one, and just when you thought they had a chance in taking this, it's snatched away from them.
Kamiyu, pure speed with this this operator in hand, and I think Big, they need some kind of answer to it because they are getting massacred by it time and time again, especially as soon as they lose Margot. That's a huge problem. You've no longer got any controllers running around the map, and one of the biggest problems when playing on Icebox is you've got so many angles you have to look towards. It's a big map, and unless you're making that space for yourself, you are going to be very, very paranoid looking any which direction. And Kamiyu absolutely knows that. As soon as Viper goes down, Kamiyu is there to have fun on Icebox, and with an operator in hand, it's very easy to do so.
Let's play.
This is just looking so much better for FUMA Gaming. They look comfortable. They look like they know what to do, how to handle each and every situation. They're not, I'd say, scrambling or panicking like what we saw from them in Bind. It's a very different face that we're seeing from the side of FUMA Gaming. It's very refreshing to see. It's not what feels like a slow grind towards each and every single round that we saw in the previous game. Rather, they look more confident, and they look like they're, I'd say, feeling more comfortable here towards this game, rather, as they now go barreling straight towards A. Big. A little bit of a Hail Mary. Ooh, okay, the satchel charge just didn't go the right way, but he saved her from a couple of shock darts. It's going to be a recon to come up and through. Not be able to find anybody. It goes down as quickly as it goes up. They're going to try to all work their way through this Viper's pit here, but Whiffy is able to find Baby Giver right now. That's a big kill to find. No more Sentinel there from the back, but Yamori finds one, traded out by Aisling. Still, a lot of time for this retake to happen. They have to play this smart, intelligently. No way to get information, no Sova. Hakane is down. Missed shot right there. Capitalized on by Kamiyu. Finds another one here, and the Blades are just doing work right here. But speaking of work, Crescent with a big triple kill, but only for 3. Can't get the final one. Mitsu is able to get that one. FUMA Gaming extend their lead by 4. They get a 6-2 here.
Very, very unfortunate there for Crescent. A nice attempt that that final fight just couldn't be isolated, unfortunately, but that looked like it was a clutch waiting to happen single-handedly. And so Crescent put quite a lot on herself there, but Camille as well. This entry into the site, just making all the space, doing what a duelist is meant to do. And look at this from Crescent's amazing play, a triple kill so quickly, but Mitsu has to be the final one, doesn't she? Just has to be the one that says, no, Sage did.
Nope.
Let's get in there.
Absolutely, but timeout just when Big needed it. I think Big needed to have called this a couple of rounds ago, but hindsight is 2020. After all, 6-2, they're 4 rounds down. Still not the end of the world, but they're gonna need to start getting those rounds up. It's starting to look like FUMA Gaming is. It's not even like the last game. This is more dominant a performance from FUMA Gaming than what Big showed us in the previous one. FUMA Gaming are winning the duels, they're winning the map control, they're responding very nicely on the defense, and I feel like they've already met their quota on rounds on the defensive side. On the defensive side on Icebox, you get away with 4 or 5 rounds, you'll be happy to take the attacking side and run with that. But here, when you have 4 rounds up, when you have a 6-2 already, you'll be like, yeah, okay, we'll keep playing, we'll try to get a couple more.
Ice Wall, always an issue. As long as that Ice Wall is up, there is a certain level of security when you're holding over towards that B site. And so more pressure over towards A and towards mid right now, but it does look like the players from Big do want to put themselves closer to that B site. Slowly, we do have Chamber as well, making her way up into Kitchen. So Baby Giver going to be getting some information to work with. And just as it stands right now, waiting for this to... Oh, okay, never mind. I thought they were going to wait for the wall to break, but Meitsu couldn't help going for a cheeky peek, and Yamori going to shut it down.
Yeah, great peek right there. Oh, misses the shot there towards mid, but somehow Baby Giver missing as well. It's a little bit of a scuffed play here towards mid, but they are going to be making it happen. Still a 4v4. Either team could come out ahead of this one. Spike is taking away. They do have time working to them. With Camu up on that flank, everything's possible. Good updraft, but it's punished by Afro Lin. Aisling on the other side is able to get one. They tap it, forcing them off, forcing that Hunter's Fury off, and I'm gonna get a couple of charges in here, but that should pretty much be the round as Whiffy gets the 3rd kill on it, and FUMA Gaming will once more take another, bring this to 7-2.
This particular lineup going in for Big, I feel like it is a little bit more angled towards being defenders, just because of the speed at which you can rotate thanks to that chamber, and most of that utility is made for getting information on those pushes and the defensive, right? I mean, the main difference between these guys is the fact that we do have that Killjoy instead of a chamber, we've got that Jet instead of a Raze. And yeah, Killjoy, once it comes to the attacker side, not a great option to have. Yeah, you do get a bit of information on those flanks if you can stay close enough. Don't forget, it's a big map. You can't always be in proximity to your equipment. So Big, once again, they are reset back onto Sheriffs, back onto a Guardian in the hands of Baby Giver and a Spectre as well. And they'll do what damage they can, but so far from FUMA Gaming, it has been very good.
Yeah, again, FUMA Gaming starting off strong with 2 picks here. Just a couple of kills on the anti-eco just to boost their confidence even a little bit more. 7-2 with a Guardian. Okay, just when I thought that she was dead right there, the shock dart gets a pick off right before she fades away. Crescent, nice pick off, but has a lot more work to do if they want to have a chance at this round. They do have the spike at the very least, and they do have a little bit of control here towards mid. So there's that silver lining on what is a very, very dark cloud.
Oh, timing.
Oh my god.
That's so fortunate. Just after the reload finishes, managed to find Crescent, but after then, still fighting back. Missed shots as well, and that's going to be another round. And 8-2, FUMA Gaming, they've turned the tables, and they've turned them quite well. How the turntables?
Yeah, and the DJ scratching away at the turntables. I'm sorry, I don't know where I was going with that.
That was amazing. I didn't know you could beatbox.
Yeah, you like that? I can do the boots and cats thing too. Boots and cats.
Oh,
Yeah.
you should, you have to do that.
I should do that for a living, shouldn't I?
Well, anyway, back into the game, as I don't want to give my friend bad financial advice. Well,
Thank you, but I'm going for it. Gotta live my dream of being a professional
this is
beatboxer.
it. This is the start.
This is it.
Beatboxing
This is the
Illustrator.
moment. Thank you for giving me the confidence. And maybe I can be a showstopper like that one as it catches Mate to mid-air, mid-transition. That's gonna be a great way to get somehow make it back into this game with a triple kill, peeking out of the wall. Can she get the
Nice
punish? No, Whiffy's able to back her up. No highlight, no ace this time, but it's still a 2v4. A lot of ground to cover for FUMA Gaming. You still have to get onto the site. You still have to get
One
the
enemy
flank
remaining.
done with right now. Baby Giver's able to find a con. Big double, no trade. But the defuse already has come. Sorry, not the defuse.
Last
The kills
round
rather
before
have
the
already
switch.
come in for Big, and they get themselves an 8-3. Finally, around after what feels like an eternity, they have managed to snatch away one.
Was that actually 8 rounds in a row coming from FUMA?
Was it 8 or 7? Something like that.
I think it was, but I mean, that's exactly how you want to do it, right? If you're going to be hitting this a site on Icebox, you can't be slow. You can't be making your way in and trying to play as tactful as possible. Just full send. Just get in there,
Right.
get some kills going. You always get like in a lot of these situations where it comes to an attacker side, where it seems to really lean towards one side. It does come down to an individual performance to start shining through. And in that situation, Yamori was the exact one to call on. 14 kills and just a big play to finally break that streak.
Yeah, but Yamori, honestly, at this point, is doing, you know, everything and more. Just trying to light a fire under the rest of her team, trying to get everybody up to speed. Because the rest of Big right now seemingly have left the best of their gameplay there on Bind. Meanwhile, FUMA Gaming, they're bringing the heat up. Nobody too far behind, nobody too far ahead. Kamiu, sure, getting a couple of kills up above Whiffy there, sitting at 13 over her 10. But it's not like we're seeing a blowout performance from one. Everybody from FUMA Gaming contributing whatever side they're on the defense. And now they even have the Viper Spit deployed onto B. That really puts a hamper on the plans of Big because they were sending everybody here towards B. Now they've got to slowly inch their way forward here, try to maybe get a glimpse of where Aceling is on this one. Oh my god. Oh, they find her. They find her. She had a judge. They just sprayed through. That is such an unfortunate way to go. But regardless, they get the site anyway. They get tagged up. Whippy gets the shot onto Yamori, who might have gotten a little bit overzealous on that one. Whippy swinging out here. Slowed down. Still gets a kill. Gets another one. That's a triple kill. Crescents finally trades, but could it be too little too late as it's 2v3? No, Crescents has an argument to make, and she says, no, I'm here to stay. 2v2 now, as Margot coming from the big flank, trying to keep Big in this game. They need this 8-4. They don't want to go 9-3, and Margot with the big flank getting a couple of kills, getting Big another.
Switching sides.
Yeah, getting a little bit of deja vu here, and 4-8. Last time we saw that scoreline, it was reversed. This time, FUMA Gaming go into the second half with the advantage. 4 rounds, the advantage. If they can find this pistol round, that would be brilliant for them. But Big, they're not out of it just yet.
Yeah, Big, I'd say a long way to go, but if there is any way that they get back into this game, it's rounds like that. You know, they, like you said, I think you hit the nail right on the head there, Jaeger. Full send. Send everybody, get everybody feeling a little bit more hot on Icebox, you know, cool off and try to get themselves more in the groove. Because for what I feel like the first half, a majority of it was spent, I'd say, trying to read into FUMA Gaming, how FUMA Gaming is playing. But you don't really get to do that so much on Icebox like you do on Bind. On Icebox, it's kind of like, yeah, you run out, you take a couple of kills, you get a couple of trades, and maybe you win the round and play a little bit tactically here and there, a little bit of a, you know, peppered across it. But for the most part, you kind of just play how you feel.
Exactly. Like, you can walk onto onto a frozen lake with your 4 mates and play, and you know, try and hold on to each other, try and stop yourselves from falling as much as possible. or you could put on your ice skates and start showing off. And I think that's the best way to take the ice. And I think every time you see them jump in and go for those big plays, that's exactly what they're doing. So hopefully we're going to see a bit more of that. Maybe coming from FUMA Gaming this time, who finally get to set the pace in. It's what they were doing when they were on Bind. That flair, that's something that seems to be ingrained in them. You can't stop the showmanship in a Filipino, so there's always that as you jump in. And well, now we get to see that cohesive teamwork on the defensive finally coming in as well from BIGG, because that is what they excel at as well. When it comes to defense, that is where you can shine as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we say that Icebox is an attacking-sided map quite a bit, but you know, here in FSL and in Southeast Asia, generally, it's topsy-turvy day. You know, we talk about Split. Split is an attacking-sided map here in Asia, so that's just kind of how things are. Same thing with Icebox, where it's defensive-sided. I think we've gotten a good picture of that here already. And you know what? People somehow are going to crucify me for this, saying that kind of stuff, but it's absolutely true. A lot of the time, teams are more comfortable playing on the defense. You know, you get to play a little more aggressive on the defense here in Icebox, and a lot of teams who are very aggressive in nature, they like to run with that. So let's see if that's actually going to come into play as we go into the second half or not. BIGG have 4 rounds to cover, and if they take this pistol round, that might be exactly what they need to get back in this game.
Yeah, an 8-5 can turn into an 8-6 really quick. And we have seen them win those rounds where they've only had the Spectres, they've only had the Guardians. I can't believe we saw Guardian today. But yeah, those can result in a win, even going up against Vandals and Phantoms. I think one of the biggest keys here is BIGG getting themselves an operator early on, because that is really what helped Kamiyu. You can see right now Kamiyu on 13 kills, Whiffy as well, and it was the operator in the hands of Kamiyu that got a lot of those kills, and it's such a good way to lock down a site. It does force the players to have to go down other avenues. English is hard, you're right.
It's a lot of tongue twisters in there, a lot of words that don't make sense but do.
You love to see it. Crescents hoping to see someone peeking in from the other side of pipe. Meitu is going to be taking some time. They are going for a bit of map control here, as out goes the turret. Oh, Baby Giver not going to be messing with that. Just backs away and thinks, yeah, this is not the fight for me. I'll take a smarter one. And that kind of thinking will keep you alive much longer.
Yeah, now they rotate here towards B because Whiffy has made some progress towards it, has secured yellow. And the response from BIGG is to just give it up. Baby Giver is already at 45 HP, so she's not going to try to contend too hard on this one. We'll wait for the teammates to come and rotate in, maybe get a heal from her teammate instead. Crescent is starting to make her way towards the side here as well. But they're taking a little bit of time here, FUMA Gaming, to get that spike planted down. This might bite them in the back because the rest of the members of BIGG, they're already here. The wall up, already coming through. Ooh, gets punished here from Meitu. Shutting down Crescent, sees the shoulder. Margot is good for the pick on the flank. Now it's a 4v4. Trying to get closer to that site. And the pistols, they are doing work. Baby Giver fighting another one. Pulls out the Sheriff. Get a couple of kills here. Taking a little bit of time for it. Flank already. That's Margot out of the picture, and the rest of the members of BIGG are falling one by one. It's all up to Afrolin, but she's got 2 HP.
And a dream.
Oh dear, oh dear. Can she make it happen? Absolutely not. It's Kamiyu with a quick shot to the dome on the Ghost. It's gonna be a 94 pistol taken by FUMA Gaming.
You kind of want to see it, don't you? Like 1 HP per person. That's all you need. But
all you need.
Well played by FUMA Gaming, extending their lead. And I mean, again, it's another reverse. BIGG, they start things off with a pistol win. And look how far FUMA have come since that point. Despite losing the pistol, we may actually see one of those big comebacks. We talked about it earlier. But
have
it might happen here
BIGG
again.
won a pistol at all?
They won the first pistol here. After that, it has been FUMA only.
Okay, so that's definitely one of the issues. I think even the first map, all the pistols did go to FUMA Gaming, so that's something they definitely want to take a little bit of a look at going forward into this tournament. But you're absolutely right, Jaeger. It's one of those comebacks, and on Icebox, this is the point where we're really not surprised that this is going to happen. However, BIGG, can they do it? Can they pull things through? They are on an eco buy. They don't really have a lot to work with right now. Presence already up close right here. Taken down by Iceling. couple of good shots just to build up that bank here. Afrolin punish wall. Oh no, the hesitation costs her her life.
Enemy down.
Afrolin
enemy
punishes, gets another 2 Hakane, and Whiffy are able to clean up the round 10-4. Double digit already for FUMA Gaming.
We now do have the money available, so this will be our first buy. It's taken a while to get here, but I can't remember the last time we had a big rifle round as Afrolin. I mean, some great plays and a really good eco round there, I must say. The fact that we managed to get 2 kills and a spike down, that's plenty of extra money to work with. And so, yeah, they are broke now. They don't have anything left behind, but they do stand a chance here to finally get on the board 10-5.
Yeah, 10-5 would be a decent start at getting back into this. However, FUMA Gaming, you know, they have been very deadly with these guns. Even with lesser weaponry, they can still make rounds happen. But setup now already being deployed here towards B. They don't really have a lot of players to defend this. Margot is sitting so far back with that Vandal. Might bite them in the back because up close and personal, if they let FUMA Gaming closer with these, you know, with these Sheriffs, with these Spectres, it might actually bite them in the back here. But they've taken long to get the plant down. They haven't even gotten it planted down, so they might be punished for this. Afrolin, Baby Giver, they're working the flank here. But they both hesitate. They both decide to back off. Both of these teams, they decide to give each other a little bit more respect. And it's up to who's going to budge first. Well,
Here.
Viper's Pit. Sorry, not Viper's Pit. Rather, just the Toxic
Spike
Screen
down,
waiting to be
B.
deployed. Yamori is able to find that pick up onto Meitu here. Already managed to deploy
30
footing
seconds
towards
left.
B. It's a slow, steady, surgical approach here towards B, and it's working. Like I said, you cannot let them get this close. And they've already lost a couple of players here, but now Cameo with a big triple kill, picking up that battle, has brought it to a 2v3. Can they find any more with 13 seconds left? They do get the spike planted down here.
enemy
Aisling on the
remaining.
flank secures that kill. One person left standing, and that's Baby Giver, who desperately tries to deal with this upcoming endeavor. It's basically a Herculean effort that she has to pull out if she wants to come out of this ahead. I don't know, man. Maybe go ahead and try to save this because she is trapped, quite literally, onto this side. Tries to push out a little bit further, but there should be a swing on the other side. Cameo with a 4K gets them to 11-4.
And this is why FUMA Gaming have a bigger win percentage on Icebox, because look how confident they are in every single scenario here. They have put themselves in all the right places, and just the inability to answer back from Big, it really isn't their map. Their style of play, there's cohesive, but when you're trying to be that cohesive in the ice, you are going to get stuck together, and you can see how they were getting torn apart one by one there by FUMA Gaming.
Absolutely. It's just a dismantling, complete dissection of the defense of Big. For FUMA Gaming, even though they stalled out a little bit, even though they hesitated, it seems like Big are giving them a little bit too much respect. I think that there was a couple of instances where you could have capitalized on that, maybe punished the indecision from the side of FUMA Gaming, but instead Big hesitated themselves and find themselves now at a very big disadvantage. Now they get towards that A side, and Cameo having absolutely no right to get those kills, running and spraying while crouching, somehow still finding a headshot. And it's the same story towards the back of the map here as Yamori finding a nice kill onto Whiffy brings us to a 2v4. And this round is pretty much done here.
Spike planted.
Just there's a big lack of awareness around where these players may be as well. Like they can't. You know, in most situations, when you get to this level of play, you have a general idea of where people can be at certain timings, and for Big, they don't seem to be applying it. It almost feels like they're trying to let this game end quickly because we want to play on Ascent. Like,
yeah,
we're done with this map.
No, that's reasonable because, you know, if you're getting stomped like this, you want to end it, you know, and it is a stomp, let's face it. You kind of want to get the map over as soon as possible, just get that mental reset in, focus on game number 3. There is that element where you don't want to linger too long, and you want to just sort of put your best foot forward and then sort of think about something else. That would probably be Ascent.
If you ever want to change the scenery, it would be nice for them. Camille taking a bit of damage. The decay not really helping much either. And Baby Giver, aware of these players around, perhaps hoping to stay into the last minute and then teleporting away. Just see if he can get that extra kill. No one's going to shoot into them. They're very aware of that fact. And as you see, disappeared, avoided the potential lockdown. Camille doing what Camille does. But unfortunately, Margot is going to shut down Camille. That is a very sad use of an ult there.
Well, a little bit unfortunate. Doesn't really get the kills that you needed, but still it's a 4v4. Either way, you got the space in, and they get the plant. And again, it's this, you know, mid-push stopping that FUMA Gaming is, I'd say, sort of banking on, that forces Big to hesitate even more. Look, they stopped their push for a couple of seconds. It forces a couple of players away. Now they're cheating on players towards B, and they're leaving their A site fairly vulnerable. They only have a couple of players on it. Meanwhile, Margot and Whip, Margot gets one, Whippy finds another, but still now they know where the last defender on A is, and they have all the information that they need. Big are like, yeah, you got bodies on A. We're gonna go to B with 12 seconds left. This might be a misplay.
10 seconds left.
This might be a misplay. Do they have enough time to get? I don't think they do.
Alarm bot.
No, they don't. Oh no, they missed it. Little bit too much hesitation there, and they lose the round. It's gifted to Big.
That should have been
One
the end.
enemy remaining.
But, well, the comeback starts now. 7 rounds in a row. Big, they're going to bring us into overtime. That's not wishful thinking. I think that's...
I don't know, man. I don't know about that one, Chief.
Yeah, I think this was just a one-off round. Big really not enjoying their stay at the Icebox Inn and hoping to jump back to Italy, where
It's a little bit too chilly there.
just a little bit.
Would you stay at a hotel in Icebox? I might, if you
think I
have
would.
lights.
I wouldn't go to the ice hotel, but I would go to an icy place.
Okay, that's fair.
The ice hotel.
You'll
just
end
sounds
up in
like
one of those capsules, like, you know, one of
like an
those samurais
igloo.
in the back.
Oh. Igloo. Left tight here. That's all the way out mood. Trying to make sure that no one's pushing them down from long. Yamori has found Camille, who has been very, very aggressive in the last couple of rounds. Just wants to finish this game and, well, has been getting punished more often than not. So may start playing a little bit more careful, because it's one thing to get to that point, it's another thing to close down the game. FUMA, they are getting those kills. Whiffy doing a great job bringing it back into the 1 versus 2. But with that slow going down, the ice wall coming up, and that's great. That is a great little swarm grenade. Opens it up once again, and great shot there for
pre-fire.
Presence.
Yeah, just start shooting the moment the shoulder comes out, and it's enough to get them another round here. Sure, it was expensive, but FUMA Gaming, they've sort of given away another round here to Big. I wouldn't say signed, sealed, delivered, but it's starting to get a little bit worrisome right now. They have 6 rounds to play with, but they want to get this entire affair over with sooner rather than later. I mean, you don't want a little bit of a repeat of what happened in map number 1, where Big start to download how you play and then just sort of figure out the rest of the game. They want to end this as soon as they can. They want to get to Ascent as well. I think both teams are in agreement of this. Like, let's get this over with. But maybe now, Big, a little bit of a spark of hope after those past couple rounds.
I mean, it is always scary when you're playing against Big and suddenly you realize, oh no, they're learning. And it's like you're now having to play against people that are actively out-stratting you and anti-stratting you. And so this defense, they've gone for some more forward defenses and Big plays with positioning, but missed shots. And this is going as well. We haven't seen too many of the shots connecting quite like they have in the gaming so far.
I do think they're slowing down a little bit here, but slow or not, all they need is 1 more round, so they can take as much time as they need. They can start going turtle wins race, rabbit loses at this point.
You should
know that
run.
story.
Ah yes, when the rabbit had a race with a horse and the rabbit lost because the horse is faster.
Yeah, I think somewhere along the lines the rabbit got like sick, with a tummy problem, and
30
had to
seconds
quit
left.
after.
Should have worn a mask.
Oh my god, the mask's not gonna save you from a spray down like that, no matter how many Vipers ultis you have on site. 12-6 yet again. Could be the last round. FUMA Gaming, they need this. They really want to seal the deal right now, but can they do it? Doesn't look like it just yet because Big, they're holding on for one more round here with it. 1v3. Timing doesn't go our way. Crescent sneaking up from underneath is able to be the Undertaker and simply put a tombstone onto the plans of FUMA Gaming for now. 12-7.
I mean, when it comes to this point, it's been said before that if you want to get it into overtime with such a huge lead like this, all you can do is take it one round at a time. And FUMA Gaming, there's a little bit of concern coming through. They can drop some weapons over if they want to. Full armor for Whiffy. There's going to be a drop coming in from Iceling onto Meitsu. They will have a full buy here. Money is getting lower and lower. And Big, they are starting to build up, but they can't really lose a round. That would be very dangerous for them because I think they'll be done.
Yeah, the game would be over, and no, you know what he wants. That we want to see triple overtime. Okay, always. No, the only thing better is quad overtime.
Especially after a long comeback, just to lose it as well.
Oh god, that's just gonna put a dent in anybody's morale right there. But nades coming on them through and retake beginning. Oh no! Somehow still gets the kill. Oh, it's through the paint shell, but the flank from Margot is able to get one. Two players now on the flank working their way through. Big looking like they want to make a statement. Crescent's big double kill, leaving Kamiyu all alone. Suddenly, okay, good one tap so far, but gonna need to land a lot more than that. Found two. Dashes into her death. Margot finds the last kill of the round, 12-8, and it's starting to get worrisome here. Jaeger, 12-8. Okay, panic starting to set in for FUMA Gaming.
Yeah, this is not a great situation. They need someone to go big here, but every single time they've tried something so far, there have been adjustments made. Kamiyu, who has been getting very aggressive in the previous rounds, now playing quite passively, letting teammates enter in first. And in that scenario, I don't think Kamiyu shines quite as brightly as she has been doing in the rounds where she's more confident. And so, start things off, a turret taken away, a spotted Whiffy, and a push towards the A site. They do want to stop players from flanking. Whiffy actually wins out a fight against Yamori with a Sheriff against an Operator. Not good.
Yeah, not a great start right there, but let's see whether they can recover this. Forcing out a res on an eco round here, not a great sign. But still, Big, they want to keep things going. They need as much as they can. There's no margin for error for them right now. So they want to keep everything in check right here. 5v4. Big looking to go for the retake. They cannot save. Kamiyu making a statement. Great set of blades coming in through, but the res is coming in as well. And they're doing work. And they're making this happen on an eco round. Could they take this here? With a 1v4 right now, Baby Giver's got to go absolutely mental. 1v3 here, found one, needs three more, pushing in closer, and it's Meitsu to find the final decisive kill. 13-8, FUMA Gaming steal it away with Sheriffs on Icebox.
They should have just done that from the start. Just pull out your Sheriffs and win out the game, lol. It's not an easy thing to do, but they have managed to do it. FUMA Gaming, they have secured the revenge. Now they make their way over to Ascent. But just in regards to that game, FUMA Gaming, when it comes to Icebox, as you said, it's nobody's map. But when you do have a bit of a flair, when you got a bit of style, I feel like you can pull ahead. And the more you're doing that, the more unpredictable you are, the longer it takes for Big to be able to adjust to you, I think the better your chances are of winning out that game. And so that scoreline, that could have been way, way bigger. That gap could have been huge. But it did get closer and closer and closer. But finally, FUMA Gaming managed to shut things down, and he have the stats for the players as well. Kamiyu on 314 combat score, 1.9 KD, not quite as impressive as perhaps the first map, but we did see Crescents up on like 2.4, but still a great performance nonetheless, and very nicely balanced among the teammates.
Yeah, it was overall a very concerted effort here for FUMA Gaming. Earlier, it was a little bit concerning. Yeah, Kamiyu was pulling ahead, but it was sort of the same story where the duelists of Big were, I'd say, a little bit too far. Yamori leading the charge for Big as well this time, but unfortunately wasn't enough to steal away that map. So 13-8, we are going to be going to game number 3. We predicted this, Jaeger, before the match started. We were like, yeah, this is gonna go to map 3 because we wholeheartedly believe that this game is going to go the extra mile, go to game number 3. That's how close these games are.
Not a single doubt in our minds. We didn't even change our opinions off or on stream. It's just pure commitment because we believe they were going to go for the full 3 maps. And so, yeah, well played from the girls in FUMA. And it's always nice when you can build a little tale around this because they looked very disorganized. They looked like they weren't really melding on Bind. And then on Icebox, it looked like they just embraced that, like, you know what, we're not melding, we're doing our thing. And it worked out so often. And you can see there as well, even when Big managed to go big, it didn't always result in a win, unfortunately, for them. But when FUMA were doing it, made it look good, and they get it all the way down to the end there as well. Of course, I am getting cut off by a couple of big members shutting down these players, but it still stands. With some great players coming in from FUMA, just great individual performances.
Absolutely. Organized chaos, basically, what FUMA was imbibing in that. They were inhibiting it, rather. As we go into map number 3, we're going to go into Ascent here. Should be a very different match from what we're seeing. So we're getting the whole spectrum, Jace, of all playstyles here. And in fact, Ascent to sort of look a little bit more like Bind. Obviously, we don't really know how that's going to play out. But from what we can tell at the very least, I think it might be Big Scythe to make a little bit more of a comeback here in Ascent. And I think maybe... you know what? Actually, no. I'll take that back. It might just be a completely different story because the momentum now is on the side of FUMA Gaming. But we'll find out whether any of that is true or not, or whether I'm just making things up as we go along when we get back from this break. So when we do return, it's going to be game number 3 here of Valorant Game Changers Asia Pacific Series here on FSL. Don't go anywhere.
Get it crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a get it crunk with a couple hundred thugs. Crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a get it crunk with a couple hundred thugs. Everybody round, everybody round, everybody round, everybody round here, everybody round, everybody round here. Know we getting hype. Everybody round, everybody round. Wanna get it crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a get it crunk with a couple hundred thugs. Crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a get it crunk with a couple hundred thugs. Everybody round, everybody round, everybody round, everybody
game number 3 is on Icebox. We saw FUMA Gaming make an absolute statement and take down Big Scythe. We're going into Ascent next, and you might see a little bit more of game number 1. But will that happen with the momentum now in full swing? We'll find out here. Again, you're joining us. I'm Illustrato, and this is Jaeger. We have a lot to break down, man, as we get into Ascent.
So when it comes to Ascent, I think the agent picks here will be quite important. More often than not, when it comes to Ascent, I think double initiator is a very important pick to have. We have been seeing a lot more of those double controllers coming out recently. We have been seeing a bit less of the initiators, but I think when it comes to Ascent, you can run with the KO, you can run with the Sky if you want to, or especially with the Sova. And more often than not recently, I feel like that should still be the case. As for how each of these teams individually play, once again, Ascent, much like Bind, I think these smaller maps where you have to play a little bit better as a team will favor Big. That being said, we have seen the potential for FUMA on Icebox. If you're looking at the maps in that aspect, I would say Ascent does have its bigger moments. It's got its bigger area moments, and so when it comes to perhaps map control in mid and control inside of the A site, for example, those big sites where you can rely a little bit more on how you work around that organized chaos, as you said, I think you can get your advantages there. But when it comes to those close angles, when it comes to closing down those corners and all the close range stuff, I feel like you can rely on Big to do a little bit more damage there as well.
I agree. I think if FUMA Gaming want to take the series, they're going to have to start with a lot of early picks. So starting the rounds off, getting early advantages, whether it's map control, whether it's bodies that they find. They can't just rely on, fragging out like what we saw in Icebox here. It has to be a little bit more tactical than that. So hoping to see that they develop that side of their gameplay a little bit at the very least on Ascent. But with the scoreline being 13-7, 13-8 in the first 2 maps, I'm expecting this map number 3 to just go the distance. Maybe we finally get to see overtime. Who knows?
Well, there has to be one coming eventually. This is when you get into lower brackets and the upper brackets, you do expect to see closer games like this. And these girls, I can see them taking it the full distance. But if I'm being honest, after that loss for Big and knowing that perhaps they'd mentally clocked out at some point, I think that maybe they have what it takes now to take things away on Ascent.
I agree with you completely here. In Ascent, it's one of those maps where you have to play very, very solid foundationally. You clock out at any moment, whether it's mentally, tactically, your shot calling has to be on point. Especially with the mid-round, late-round shot calls. We saw a little bit more success on that from the side of Big earlier on Vine, so I do think they have that advantage somehow there. But we'll see if FUMA Gaming can be able to really just put their foot down and be assertive this time around. Because what they did on Icebox, asserting their play style, controlling the right parts of the map, knowing how to trade with each other, it all felt very natural. It all felt very, something very intrinsic to them. And hoping that we're going to see a little bit more of that right now as we get into the game itself and we get into agents select. Like you said earlier, Jaeger, double initiator could be key. I'm hoping we get to see the KO yet again. It has been so effective. Oh, we do. Sorry, we did see agent select.
Did we?
I guess I just blotted that out of my mind. I just put it in the vault.
I feel like we burned straight past it. I actually don't remember those picks coming up. But
okay, thank God, because I thought I was losing my mind. But you're right. We are seeing a KO on both sides and double initiators for both sides, actually.
It's a mirror match. You love to see it. And so, yeah, this is the quintessential Ascent agent select. And so information coming off of the Sova and the post-plant potential as well, clearing out a couple of abilities thanks to the KO, having that Killjoy to provide cover and also to help in the post-plants as well, having your Omen because, well, you do need a flash other than the KO flash. As good as the KO flash can be, it doesn't quite affect much like you get from other initiators. For example, a Breach or a Sky. His flashes are a little bit more let's say simple. So
Yeah.
having the paranoia available, that does help quite a lot. And it goes through walls. You know, who doesn't want that?
Yeah.
Jet because mid control things.
Well, speaking of control, it's a main that has been taken away by FUMA Gaming. They've dedicated a couple of their players here just to be able to hold on to it for longer. I don't think they'll stay too long. Maybe after getting a pick, we'll see that tailwind away. But there's no tailwind, so she will have to commit to this fight. Oh no, can't get past. Has to get away. Tries to get towards Wine, but not even a single kill. So a little bit of a strange decision right there from Cameo to stay so long and so wide open despite not having the tailwind available. Or maybe she did use it and then it expired. I'm not sure.
Imagine that being the reason. It's because your dash away expires. Like, just use
Spike
it.
planted.
If you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
Oh.
And the fact that the fact that I ran back towards Wine, like, this is where I'll survive. I don't like that idea at all.
Yeah. Not exactly the most sound of decisions, right? Ooh, what a shot right there from Yamori opening things up. And Avery to get one quick trades all around here. 1v3 all of a sudden. Everybody dropping, leaving only Hakane to defend from the back of the site right now. Gets spotted rather, and then shot down. Easily taken by BIGG. They take the pistol around. Very, very nicely done. Good start for the side of Big Scythe.
If getting spotted and shot doesn't result in shotted, I don't want it.
Shotted. That should be a thing.
Yeah, shotted.
It's a thing now. I am
I've been
trademarking.
shotted.
I've been
Yeah.
shotted. I'm trademarking that. That's my thing now. That's my claim to fame. Please, Riot.
All right, that's fair enough. I'll be the only person that calls you Stradders. It sounds like if you were born British, that would be what people call you. It's my boy Illustrado, or Stradders as we like to call him down south.
Oh God, with a London accent.
Stradders.
As well. Oh dear.
It's like Smithers.
I hate that. I hate that so much. Thank you. I'm never gonna live that down now. But getting into the site itself, Afro Lin, a couple of quick entries through the smoke. Somehow Yamori finds one. And at least find a consolation prize. Isling getting at least pick off onto Margot. Now Cameo making a lot of noise here.
Spike planted.
Flushed out by the Nano Swarm. Can't get the break on it. Should be pretty much done and dusted here. Don't think she can get another kill. Oh, nope, not gonna happen. BIGG find 2 in a row. And that's another pistol here taken by BIGG. That's a good sign from them. They start taking the pistol this early on.
That is how they started on Icebox, but the question is, can they convert this next round? I feel like this next round is going to be very telling. Either we get BIGG getting this win over the upgraded rifles and getting a free upgrade, or we get FUMA Gaming taking this one out. If FUMA Gaming win this particular round, I think it shows that this game is going to be close. But if BIGG get this win, I get a feeling that they're going to be dominating the first half.
Yeah. It's all a lot is riding on this one round right here. Azeling's got to hold firmly. Good paranoia to slow the approach. Also, yet again, A main is now in control here. Present. Can she have the awareness? Oh, full flash, but somehow still wins the duel. Cameo just emerging victorious right in that one. This 4v5. They have control here towards 3. Can they find the kills? No, Hakane with a nice double. Gets a collide as well to the wall. Triple kill for Hakane on the hold. It's looking like it's pretty much done and dusted. BIGG. Take a loss on that one. FUMA Gaming survive everybody on that one. Have 2. Now it's 2-1.
Not a single death there for FUMA Gaming. None of those specs has resulted in it. And so, yeah, I feel like we may have another close matchup here. BIGG now have their rifles available. And in a lot of those situations, they weren't too aware of how close a lot of these fights were going to be. And of course, a lot of multi-kills coming their way as well for FUMA Gaming. So BIGG, they need to be answering back for each other. We need to see a couple more of those refracts happening and a couple of players playing anti-flash as well.
Yeah, I agree with you. Especially with a double initiator like this, you have to be on point with those anti-flashes. Now, coming towards B yet again, it's no hesitation from the side of BIGG. They want to ride the momentum, but Akane is right there to stifle them. They got Crescents as well. Looking to trade that up for before, as they have firmly secured that side. Couple players on the flank. Good paranoia to help them get through the B main. And that's going to force them all onto site. It's a tough hold right here. You got all your players basically hoping for the best here towards the site itself. Will the crossfires enough for the push right now as Aisling gets one? Camu swinging out on the lane, gets a double, and that's Aisling cleaning up the final kill. Really good retake from the game there to bring things to the tie.
So with all the rifles available, still not going to be enough. And money broken. FUMA Gaming now have the potential once more to start pulling ahead. Big from our first map, from Bind. They looked like they had all that potential when it came down to it. And I think it was very important that they won this pistol round, because I don't know how many more rounds they're going to have in them for this first half. FUMA Gaming, look how sharp they are right now.
Yeah, FUMA Gaming with retakes like that, it was really well done. They force out the player in B main, they clear out for the double flanks, make everybody on the big side just stay onto the site. They're basically cowering in fear on that retake right there. Very intelligently played. This is such a different face from what we saw on Bind. They're looking like they're confident. They're taking early Hunter's Fury kills just like this one. It's a whole different thing that we're seeing from FUMA Gaming right now, and I'm living for it, man.
For you.
Oh no.
Okay, well, an oh no can be a little bit painful to hear sometimes, but it's not the end of the world, ladies and gentlemen. You always have someone else. There are other fish in the sea.
Or 2 or 3. I know you. Just kidding.
It's your philosophical bend at the end of the day. And so Crescents does have the dagger available, can get some information towards short, towards dark. Doesn't look like that's going to be the start your Morian Margot one coming. I shut them both down. There's Aisling as well chiming in and going to find a second.
So clean.
That is going to be a very clean round indeed. They haven't get it. They've gotten 2 flawlesses ever since they started fragging out.
Yeah, this is starting to get worrisome for the side of Big, man, because like you take 2 flawless rounds in a row for FUMA Gaming, momentum soaring high. They've got the wind beneath their sails. Basically, Betty Midler right there, wind beneath their wings. Well, shout out to the oldies in chat.
Wind beneath their sails. You know, that's some Treasure Planet stuff.
I'm so old.
Film.
I'm so old. You don't even know the reference.
You're like what, the same age as me? Would you chill out, please? You act like you're on the second half of your life. Like, calm down.
Look, man, I'm basically at a midlife crisis already. Just putting that out there.
Midlife crisis, my guy. You look 12. Chill out.
Oh man,
please.
Okay, I'll take that. That's a compliment. Thank you. Well, that's nice. That's nice, Jace.
Oh dear. Well, starting from the bottom here, and fast going up for FUMA Gaming.
It's a little bit of a technical pause. So, okay, it's done. It's done. They want to keep. They don't want to stall too long. FUMA Gaming. You want that momentum. You want to keep that ball rolling. So you go towards. Yeah, I think they're gonna go towards A right now. Big. They're hoping for a big change of pace. The mid play wasn't working for them. B wasn't exactly the best. But let's see what FUMA Gaming can do on this hole. They've decided to play for retake yet again. But they've also sent in a flank. Look at how far Camu has gotten. All the way here towards spawn. How many is she gonna see? Apparently more than one. Somehow still survives. Gets around the bend. Calls for the backup. The rest of the members for FUMA Gaming are now looking to support. They're taking a lot of map control here. Camu's already done so much just getting information. Staying alive. If she gets another kill, no, not going to be able to. But still, that's a lot of information now given to the side of FUMA Gaming as to where exactly Big are. Now, what is FUMA Gaming going to do with that information? Still the same game plan. Just play a retake on A. Have a couple players going short. have Aisling get a kill onto Yamori right there. It works out. A main is still where the rest of the members of Big are. They force an ultimate from Margot just to get onto site, and it's very, very dire at the moment. Now, could they try to preempt this retake? Just try to go before the spike gets in, and with that kill, it might just be the case here. Aisling finding one. They get another on Hakane. Margot all alone in a 1v3. Can't do it. Aisling with a nice triple kill. The offbeat retake is fantastic from the side of FUMA Gaming.
Oh, I feel like Big, they're going to want to call a pause sooner rather than later, because they're going to get to 6 points once again for FUMA. And even with a pause after that, it is so hard to get into this. The big thing about Big is the fact that they learn, right? And they need to give themselves a lot more space to try and learn while they can on this side, because it's only for now that you can dictate that pace. So Big, maybe not so quick into the sides, maybe play for some picks more and see if any patterns begin to emerge for themselves, because you see how they play on the defensive. FUMA Gaming, they play in very passive positions, but very aggressively in a lot of those situations. And so how do you flush them out? I mean, when you force them back with the utility, it just means you're going to have to deal with them again later once they go for that full retake, which they have been keeping a lot of their players alive. And so I think more often than not, they're going to want to try and secure some before that puck even goes down. And that's not going to happen if Camille is playing down A long and shutting you down with an operator, with a headshot as well, just to add a little bit of insult to that injury, as if a body shot's not enough.
Has to be a headshot. That's kind of how it goes right here. But nice flash right there. Margot is able to capitalize on it. And suddenly, B-side looking a little bit vulnerable here. But Hakane is good for the hold on to one. Able to get the second. Oh no, actually does line it up. Took a couple of shots, but Hakane gets it eventually. Still a 2v3. And the spike has not yet been planted. Taking a little bit of time for Baby Giver to go ahead and get onto that site, and they drop the spike. A little bit of a confusion right there. And now with 28 seconds left on the clock, after a win has to be huge, but he gets one. And FUMA Gaming find another. They are 5-2 right now. They are absolutely on fire. FUMA Gaming, like you said, learning the passing moment.
Spike down B.
That is what FUMA Gaming have to avoid as well. They need to be assertive. They need to be as quick as they can be. Cheeky little different angles here. I mean, FUMA Gaming now up 5-2. They want to make sure the Big aren't learning anything either. It's hard to play unpredictably when you're playing on the defensive, because you sort of don't have too many choices in what you can do. So they're just going to try to maximize their time here on the defender side. Big, they can turn this into a 6-6 as soon as they start playing for more picks, I think. And you see that push down mid, that was a great inspired idea. It was a good way to get rid of, first of all, Whiffy, who has been very difficult to play against. And then you can start to build on that, find a couple more. But as soon as that spike goes down, that's when the problems really start to happen.
I agree. And also, okay, mid push coming in as well. Mori, quick trades. Aisling with a nice double. This defensive hold is just proving impossible to deal with. No way she stays for that. No, absolutely. Just gets the information and teleports out. It's going to be the B site now. They finally get the spike planted down here. But they're trapped on the back of it. Big, they have no map control. They have no real estate. There's 3 of them trapped towards the back, and that's a lot of information. Paranoia is going to be thrown out as well. And look at that, the utility is just perfectly utilized by FUMA Gaming. Big are just left scratching their heads, wondering how the hell they're going to hold on to the post plant when all this utility and all this control is being taken by FUMA.
Gun here.
FUMA Gaming, they're looking so confident, and you kind of love to see it. Like, on the one hand, you know, you start to feel for Big because they really aren't getting these things. They're trying new strats every time. They're trying to repeat what works, but even when they try and repeat what works, FUMA is adjusting as well. But it's also nice to see FUMA Gaming regaining their confidence after getting that first loss. They get their win on Icebox. Maybe it falters again because they start to see that comeback happening. But here again, they must be feeling confident once more, and it's always a nice opportunity to see these ladies feeling strong.
Absolutely. And again, look, it's this aiming control that has been such a thorn in the side of Big. Every single round they take it, and Big have just no response to holding this. The only time that they did control it was on that pistol round where Cameo a little bit overstayed. Now this is a little bit better. They flash through it. They get a punish, and that's what I want to see. That's what you want to see from Big, to be able to shut down the amount of map control that FUMA Gaming has, punish that over aggression here towards A main, make them pay for it. And now A side looking a lot more vulnerable. This is a very good chance for Big.
Here.
Be the first step on a 11-step journey.
Yeah, finally got there. Well, they have the Scythe now, but Cameo still okay, getting those shots in with an operator. Find another one. Nope, misses the opportunity, but 36 HP manages to somehow survive.
30 seconds
4v4,
left.
they are trying to push in. They have a little bit of a late lurk coming through. Hakane trying to make her way in as well, but Yamori saves the life of her teammate. Margot as well chiming in, but Whiffy not whipping any of those shots. Instead, it's Margot all alone. Oh no, she gets through, doesn't even look the right way. Nice teleport play. And from the shadows, does actually work out for now. 1v1, who's gonna peek first? Aisling looking for the kill. And Margot gets caught off, and it's FUMA Gaming with another one, securing a 7th. So many rounds going to FUMA Gaming. They are just having a heyday here.
Such a dominant performance from FUMA Gaming. Even when they seem to be on the back foot, they just get straight back into it, and Big, they just can't hold their own here. They're doing their absolute best, but there's a very oppressive feeling that comes off of FUMA right now, where they're feeling like they can win these fights. The fact that this wide swing from Aisling, just super wide angle, out in the middle of nowhere, no fear whatsoever going for that shot. So well played. And so it's getting more and more scary. Big will use their timeouts to try and figure what they can do. I mean, this round, unless they can pull off what FUMA did in the last round of Icebox, this is just going to be an upgraded pistol round. So they may not be looking to win this one, but we could potentially be looking at another 8-2. Every single time we've watched these games, it's gone to 8-4 to at least one of these two teams. Last time it was to FUMA Gaming. Perhaps this time we get a little bit more. Maybe we get a 7-5. Perhaps we get a 9-3 or even a 10-2. It all depends. But FUMA Gaming right now, they are on track for a big score.
Yeah, so far it's looking like in every single facet of the game, FUMA Gaming is just looking better. They've got better aggression, they've got better map control. Even on the retakes and the post plants, Big is looking like they're stumbling. Meanwhile, FUMA Gaming, it seems like they've got it all put together. It's a far cry from what we've seen in map number 1. They just look so much more composed. They look so much more put together. And Big just have no response for it. Where in map number 1, Big were happy to capitalize on all the errors in FUMA Gaming. Now for FUMA Gaming, there hardly are any.
Big Mori taking your time.
You should run.
Hakane holding an angle with the Spectre. Sorry, not Spectre, with a new Vandal. Spectre though. Oh dear, Yamori caught in Speedway. Not much speed going out anymore, but trying to pass. And this is such a difficult entry
no, the
into
smoke.
the site. Has to actually teleport in. I think no way.
No way!
No
He's
way!
alive! How?
What a blunder coming in! How do you not check that?
Though, that's just a sign of tilt, I think, at this point. Like, somebody should be clearing back sight. Aisling was ripe fruit, a low-hanging fruit on a tree, basically falling on the ground. You just pick it up. But no, suddenly the fruit is a spiky fruit.
It's a durian.
It's a durian. She doesn't sting, okay? Just spiky. Or jackfruit, you know?
Jackfruit, there you go.
There you go. That's better.
That is some low-hanging jackfruit.
It's one of those oh god, there's just no way. They
Spike
lined it
down
up as
A.
well. This half is pretty much done and dusted here. Oh, I like the idea from Big to go for that. Counterplay that aggression here towards A main, but FUMA Gaming are just that much better right now. They're hitting all the
Enemy
shots,
remaining.
and they dry beat the operator as well. Look at the confidence right here, throwing everything out. The Blade Storm, Tailwind in on a defense. They're just
Last round in
the
the half.
audacity on FUMA Gaming. They're just unchained, like Django.
Enemy remaining.
Yeah.
If you could be a cowboy, would you be a cowboy? I would like to see a British cowboy. I would really like to see. How would you say howdy?
Howdy, innit?
I hate that. Howdy,
Stick
innit?
him up, yeah.
Oh,
Trust
no.
me, I'll funk for your mom. Not very threatening. I don't
No, I don't think so. But oh dear, it's a beast, right? Big rush. Okay, they get a couple of kills. This is looking good here for Big for now.
Spike planted.
They still have to find a lot more. It is gonna be still a couple more kills that they have to find their way. Okay, Camus is cleaning up outside right now, cleaning up house, but Yamori with 2 big kills, not enough. It gets traded out, and that's gonna be the halftime score, 10-2. We avoid the cursed score line, and FUMA Gaming are in the to say that they're in the driving seat would be a massive understatement.
Switching sides.
Yeah, so the next pistol round coming up is probably a doozy because it's not going to be an easy one, and it's going to be a very important one considering if you get that pistol round, you could be looking at either a 12-2 or a 10-4.
Yeah, they need that.
They need that, absolutely. A 10-4, you can fight back with that, right? 10-4 goes into a 10-5, and every other round, you do have that eco going on, so you could slowly make your way back into it. But if FUMA Gaming gets this pistol round, goes 11-2, you can kind of say goodbye to Big right then and there.
Yeah, you pretty much have to play the most perfect game of your life if you want to survive the whole 12-2 thing. It's just no. The odds of that happening are very, very low here. And yeah, I can see that happening on a map like Icebox, which is like a very swingy map. But when you come to a very tactically sound, very conservatively, designed map like Ascent here, you're not gonna get crazy comebacks. You're gonna get a lot of, I'd say, closer games. But the fact that we're already 10-2 on a map like Ascent does not bode well for a team like Big Scythe right now. It's really looking like FUMA Gaming have a chokehold on the entire game itself. It's like they just keep getting better. They're learning. It's like Moore's Law up in here.
Well, that's right. Something, reference, talkage. As you can see
when technology multiplies in 2 times every year, like it gets faster, like so they're learning quicker.
Say the term again.
Moore's Law.
Moore's Law. Okay.
Moore.
I don't know why I was spelling that French in my head. I had Moore's Law, and it was like with an AUX at the end. But Moore's Law, that's fine by me. Fair enough.
Maybe it's because Margot is like ends with an.
That
EAUX.
is probably it. I've probably been influenced by Margot.
Yeah.
So
Margot.
Fair enough. But yes, let's see how that pistol round goes because we'll be jumping back in. Well, right about now. And if FUMA gets this, yeah, just already commiserations because I don't see a 12-2 comeback for Big. Last time they were in this situation, they lost to Sheriffs. It took them a little bit longer to close things out, but it still happened. It was still just the Sheriffs they needed at the very end of it, despite all the rounds going the way of Big.
I do have to give big commendations to FUMA Gaming and their mental because, getting in map number 1, getting absolutely destroyed on Bind and making a comeback on Icebox only to, destroy in return on a map like Ascent has got to feel absolutely amazing. This is a victory, if they win it, that they're going to savor like the sweet nectarine that it is. As we go into the B side here, it's a mid split. They do have 3 players barreling their way down towards it. Camus looking to entry. Whiffy is very low here. Margot punishes the lurk here. 4v5. Baby Giver looking to hold the backside, daring them to peek, but it's going to be the crossfire that holds. And Big survive for a round longer.
Deja vu.
Yeah. I've seen this before. This is the comeback. No, I don't. Not just yet. I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to be that caster who's like, yeah, come back. And 3.
I'd never do that ever. That's crazy.
That's a bad thing to do. For shame. For shame.
That never happens.
Put you in the timeout corner.
Suppressing.
Time out.
They're suppressed.
Imagine if timeouts were effective as adults. Like you get in trouble at work and then time you out.
No, please. Not the corner. And just like that, not from Margot, the triple kill coming in, making a quad.
Flawless.
Okay, farm it up.
10-4. 4K for the 4th point, as it should be.
I would like to see more money coming in for like SMG kill, you know, just like certain other games. Because just imagine if you had a 4K on the Spectre and you got like double the credits from it, would pay for itself and more on the second round. You could get an op right about now, couldn't you?
See, investments.
Margot is just like hitting every shot. She's 14 and 12. It's on the other side. It's a very different story. FUMA Gaming, everybody contributing, everybody really having a say in it. The rest of Big, it feels like, you know, one thing I really loved about Big is that anybody can pop off, and they're like such an amazing team that anybody can be a superstar. But right now, it's kind of just like one by one they pop off, and the rest of the team is kind of like wondering, oh, good for you, you know.
Good for you. Good
for
for
you.
you. Wow. Margot, once again, the Spectre from this position has been very deadly. Pushing straight through, that man was going to find its target. Yamori didn't really have too much else to say, and Margot has actually managed to escape. And so this push into the A site, they're going to try and go for perhaps a retake. Margot and Crescents both doing the work here, as the Spectres still seem to be finding their marks for gaming. Starting to look a little bit like Big did earlier on in this game.
Oh, Big did. Okay, sorry. Just,
One enemy.
Baby Giver, great pick onto Whiffy, as we now have a 1v4 on our hands. A lot of kills to find. Lineup, not gonna happen. Aisling, able to take it, but okay, a little bit of cause for concern now, as FUMA Gaming, they let that one slip away from them, and now it's now 10-5. They're 5 rounds apart. Sure, it's a long road to walk in order to get a little bit more comfortable with the score line, but it is a start, you know? Baby steps.
Well, every baby step, I mean, hopefully results in a one-day fully grown, fully functioning adult step. So
maybe you should just learn how to run, man. Like, why?
You should go from crawling to running. Why do you
Running? Just skip the walking. Why?
I went from crawling to cycling, and then walking.
Instead of a full-grown baby on a bike.
Oh!
Ooh.
Yamori starting things off with a nice little kill there from the operator down mid. And that has left KO all alone over on the A site with the spike in hand. But luckily for FUMA Gaming, they don't have any lurks coming out of Big at the moment. And Hakane, very aware of the possibility of this positioning from Yamori. But how do they bait out the shot? Do they go for a bait shot? That would be the best play, I reckon. And oh, a pixel perhaps has shown. And there it is.
They almost lined up. I thought that they actually had the collab as well. Just eluded her. Just pixel. But this is 3v5 right now. Now they know where Whiffy is. You got Baby Giver giving some support. Babies need a lot of support.
One
Otherwise,
There you are, you shit.
they don't turn into adults.
That That is true. There's definitely plenty of examples all over the world of what happens when you grow up without them. So share a bit of love if you can.
Okay. Well,
Deary me.
Spike down mid.
And
One.
Whiffy will be finding one, but after then Yamori, you know, they did find a little bit of work back, but again, this is another situation where Big are starting to get those numbers back up. FUMA Gaming, they aren't getting any closer to that 13, but Big is definitely getting closer to at least that that draw point, 10 and 10.
oh, 10-10 would be a great scoreline for Big if they can find 4 rounds in a row. Definitely a lot to ask, but again, we go into this post plant that I feel like isn't exactly the best. We're seeing a lot of these like 5-man post plants on site. They don't even have anyone A main. They don't have anyone play parking. So it's definitely very tough to get through this. But Crescent's there. She's gonna make that opening pick right now. Up against Meitsu. Shot goes wide from Yamori here as the right click gets the kill onto Whiffy. Akane looking to hold up. 1v3 doesn't get the spray down, goes a little bit around the tracer. And 10-6 now turning into a 10-7. Big staying alive, making the BGs come alive again.
Staying alive. Staying alive.
You ever see that meme where the girl like hits herself in the bed and goes like ah, and they turn
Oh, I have heard that, yeah. And people have been remixing it with the with songs. I mean, it's a great way to make use of someone else's misfortune. I'm sure she doesn't mind, but
Schadenfreude is amazing. That's just how life is.
nice little ha
Ha,
ha ha.
stay alive. This.
Absolutely are though, and doesn't really want to leave any time soon. I thought Margot is definitely leading by example right now, but Afro Lin, the double kill in the entrance to the B site. The spike has been retrieved. Now really the only option is that A site instead, because they got 3 players still left alive in the B site that are absolutely just not worried at all by the possibility of that B push coming in. And now 2 more players spotted over towards A. Wine does get shock darted, a missed shot there, and just has to back away. No reason to worry too much on Big right now.
They force A from the shadows out, so at least there's that, but this is like timeout territory already for FUMA Gaming. They've just let so many rounds slip away from them, and this is a little bit concerning now as we get deeper and deeper into the game. This is game number 3, by the way, if you guys are just tuning in. Pixel angle, good enough for Yamori. 5v2 still. Hakane and Aisling left. They're nowhere near the spike, so they will have to crawl steadily towards it. Like a baby. Or as your people say, babby.
We say little one in it.
I've heard someone say babby.
Babby. Binging
Little
with.
babby.
I'm sure there are a couple of people out there that will say
10
that.
seconds left.
Missed shot from Yamori, and a repeat doesn't go very well.
One enemy
No
remaining.
time.
No time to even plan. Yeah,
Spike
that is
down
just looking like a blunder after a blunder, and another round goes away of Big. 10-8 now. Managing to save a Vandal, but that is all he managed to save. But luckily, his teammates her teammates can buy up, so Iceling will have a team full of buys coming into this next round. And I mean, we've seen some great shots still coming out from FUMA,
enemy remaining.
but ever since they've switched sides, perhaps this was never a big problem. Perhaps this was just an attacker side problem.
Yeah, and like I said, man, this is timeout territory. I'm glad that they called it sooner rather than later. This was a 10-2, by the way, and they've let 6 rounds slip away from them. I feel like a timeout 2 or 3 rounds earlier would have been the ideal play here. But obviously now they're going to call it and hope that they get back into this game because the momentum is just completely in Big's favor. Every single round is going their way. The defense is looking so solid for both of these teams. Every single read that Big is making FUMA Gaming just have no response to it, whether it's a B split, whether it's an A hit or an execute towards the site. Big just look ready for it. They hunker down towards B whenever there's a rush. They go for a counter push towards A main whenever they need to. They're just that much more responsive, and both teams showing us stellar examples of defense. It's the treat to see.
Always love a good example of defense. We'll always talk about your site takes. We'll never talk about your site defenses.
Hell yeah. Defense is important. I would like to see on LAN someday one of those big cheers where they just go defense, you know.
Let's go defense. Clap, 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 clap.
Yeah, that's the one.
Come on, baby, give it. Spots a player in towards main.
They're just playing off for information here, just a little bit of map control. They have the spike so far away and towards top mid, though. This just gives us the idea that this is going to be a fake. I don't think they're going to commit to this. They're going to throw out some smokes and some utility towards B. They're going to try to sell that fake, maybe even commit a body just to dash in here. Yeah, they're going to throw Camille out there just hoping to get one. But again, it is a fake. They're setting the spike. No, they're going to B. They've utilized the from the shadows just to be able to, but Whitney's able to find Crescents. And it's a 4v4 retake now. They have a couple of players that's coming in from the flank towards B main as well. Blade Storm is up. To be able to see anybody. No heads peeking out just yet, and Whiffy on 30 HP. This is a one and done position. Has to at least find one, but great paranoia yet again just to be able to get another. Blade Storm from Yamori finds Whiffy. Now it's a 3v3. They have 3 players towards the back of the site. Smoke, Recon, Utility all being deployed. Margot most firmly gets another one, but Aisling finds a double, looking for a triple. Can she close out the round? Yes, she does with a big triple kill, getting FUMA their 11th.
Little celebratory, incredibly quick squat there from Aisling, and understandably so. That was 6 rounds in a row that were managed there by Big. FUMA finally managing to close things out, and a lot of it.
You have to shock your muscles, Jace.
Positioning. Yes.
That's how you get gains. You have to shock your muscles with really quick squats.
Super squats.
Super squats.
Get out of here!
And obviously the enemy team was just spotting her, so you know.
Oh, they were doing was it? It was just a big,
no,
big
not really.
spotting crew. Shotted.
Yeah, Aperlin gets shotted down on towards that B site rather. Is a 4v5. Yeah, Yamori on the operator. Not exactly the best retake weapon, but if Meitsu gets a little bit too antsy, peeks out a little bit more. Okay, wallbang. Not gonna make the connection she needs. Still, retake is very much likely to come in here. B main 2 players coming. No spray transfer. 3v4. And they have Crescents now. Good usage of utility here. But can they get close enough to make this retake happen? Again, it's this backside that they've invested 3 players into. The Crescents gets 1. Recon comes out. They're looking the wrong way, and it should be the cleanup. But Aisling only able to get 1. Still 2 players still standing. But is there time? Looks like there is. No. Barely. Oh no, they did. They did!
0.43 seconds. That is incredibly close. And I mean, Fields of FUMA Gaming there. I can't help thinking, like, did Aisling not have one more smoke just to put on one side? I'm really not a fan of this. 3 players inside the site in the post plant. It just doesn't work out for me. Yeah, you can get into this position, but a little more map control really never does hurt. Obviously, if FUMA Gaming have a couple better positionings.
If only to slow down the retake at the very least. You know?
Yeah.
And it seems like a recurring trend that we're seeing here, Jaeger. Like, a lot of these takes, actually both teams have been doing it, where they have like 5 or 4 bodies towards the site and never really leaving anybody for the late lurk. I feel like it's something that and that's fine. You can do it every other round, or sometimes to throw him off. But if you do it every single round, both teams will just take. The retaking team will just take map control so quickly that they'll have so much time for the retake instead.
Well, as they inch their way over towards the A side, let's see if these sheriffs, this frenzy, can put anything in return. That is potentially. Oh, managed to pick that up. Actually runs back in for the fight. Missed shots coming in. Margot. That is a big, big blunder indeed. As ready to put down a lockdown, but doesn't commit to it after hearing those footsteps. That spike is making its way back over
30
towards the
seconds
B
left.
side.
Wow. Great shot from Bo3 as well. Good flashbang to punish Whiffy.
One
But
enemy remaining.
Bo3's not going to get the timing. Looking to get that one off. Try to bring it to a 2v1. Because Aisling only really has a pistol to work with here. Does have from the shadows up. Maybe can use it to pick up a Vandal and get back onto site. No, instead decides to look for a 1v1. Decides to push on towards spawn here. Hoping to get a little lucky. Which is the right play after all. Just not right on the timing. Both of the players here from Big looking to go straight towards that site, bypass anybody holding close. And that's the turret, just to be able to be a little bit more of a nuisance here. Aisling will get spotted up, and now they know where she is here. Gonna start that defuse already. That's gonna be another round here. Big have managed to find double digits as well. And Jaeger, we have a game on our hands. Well, it was 10-2, and suddenly we're at 11-10.
You called an overtime very early on into this game. Is there potential for it to come out? I think there is, because they are keeping things close, and now FUMA Gaming are finally starting to get into a position where they can fight back. They're having some very good ideas. They're not always resulting in the win, but they are resulting in the amount of players left alive at the end of the round getting closer and closer to each other. So, Big definitely not out of the game just yet, and considering what the scoreline was and what it is now, this has been a big, big mountain to climb for Big, and they have managed to do it.
Absolutely. So far, Everest is looking very conquerable for the side of Big. 1 round away, that's all that separates them, and they've gotten already all of their players alive still. And yeah, sure, FUMA Gaming have taken B, but it's a little bit more of the same. They have almost everybody here towards B site. They're only leaving 1 player on the lurk, but there's a double flank coming in. Might be able to clean up Bo3 here. See who's able to line up those shots. After this comes the flash, and they might go for a repeat. Oh no. Oh no, Bo3 should have been aware of this, because the double flank comes in every single time, but now they're vulnerable. 5-4 retake and everybody on the side itself. And they know they have to take a fight, so Camus tries to swing out, but it's punished here. And look at that, it's easy pickings. They're shooting fish in a barrel.
Nothing.
Oh no.
Once again. And
Do they have time?
yeah, there's just enough. 1 minute, 1 second and 67 milliseconds. But 11-11, they have officially tied up the score from 10-2 to 11-11. And now
And
the
they're
question
broke.
is, who is going to be getting that match point?
FUMA Gaming don't have money. They're gonna have to eco and play for overtime here. They have 4 sheriffs now, and Aisling is doing, oh my god, everything she can. Look at that, 26 kills. 26 kills. Only Margot is the only person in the same realm as Aisling at this point. Because FUMA Gaming, they're stumbling, man. They get the Scythe, but their post plans have been just absolutely abysmal. And Big have just been so confident on those retakes here. FUMA Gaming, they need to find that composure. They need to find that spark that, they found early on in the game, because it took a bit of time, but Big have finally downloaded and have finally, again, relearned how to play up against FUMA. Great flash, but it's not going to result in a kill, though, because they're going to be still a little bit vulnerable. They get on towards the site, and this is looking fairly decent from FUMA Gaming. If they can keep a little bit more map control, they might actually be able to steal away this round. Yamori is on that operator on a retake, so it's not the best of weaponry, but yet again, it's this double flank that Big is sending out to deal with anybody lurking here towards A main. They're being quite patient, taking their sweet time to get towards A main, making sure they keep everyone alive. They're happy to do that, but now the utility being expanded towards the side here. They have one person lurking towards, oh no, Yamori, free kills right there, Margot, and everybody just dropping like flies. The round's already over before I could get a word in, and suddenly it's match point for BIGG.
That is going to be them pulling ahead. Plenty of money left over for the Jets to work with on the next round as well. And this has been our longest game so far, but BIGG finally back in the driver's seat. They didn't like Icebox. They didn't like the attacker side of Ascent, but they're liking defenders right now. And they have put themselves 1 point away from winning this out 2-1 against FUMA Gaming. And so the question is BIGG going to manage this, or FUMA Gaming, are they going to give us that triple, quadruple, penta something overtime?
Go overtime. Quintuple overtime. I don't even know what you call it at that point. And look, they have everything that they need and more, BIGG, to take this game out. I like that they're playing a little bit more passively. I like that they're, sticking to their gun, overcommitting to any angles, not throwing out anything crazy, because they know there's just so much on the line on this one. They cannot make a misstep. Meanwhile, FUMA Gaming, they're having to earn every single piece of map control that they claim here, throwing out a lot of utility just to secure it. Now they've gone for a mid control. It's a good idea so far. Will it come to fruition here? As they're sending a couple of bodies here towards mid. There's a little bit of a good defense structured around it. Counter flash comes in. Great kill despite the flash. Baby Giver and Crescents. They lock down mid right now, but FUMA, they have found a couple of kills as well. 3v3. And the spike now will be making itself towards that B side.
3 versus 3.
Spike planted.
Retake. Do they check this close corner? This can be such an annoying position to deal with. And no paranoia is available. Do you want to put the shock darts? There is potential there. Kane is going to find Margot. Back into the spawn. And that's going to be a Hunter's Fury. Just trying to connect with a couple of these players. A spray down is going to find one. If you find this one, that's going to be a big find because he knows where he's coming from.
He knows he's far. He can go for the defuse. Hakane is so far removed from this. Might be able to stick it here. No way. Tries to spam through the box here. Oh, he gets the defuse. Heartbreak. A big misplay on that one. Oh, no. That should have never happened. So... it's gonna be absolutely heartbreaking.
Just to secure that kill onto Margot, that results in being too far away to stop a defuse. You'd think that, like, from that position, you'd have some kind of a lineup if you had shock darts left available or something that would just connect with that particular plant, but really just a misplay there at the very, very end. And that, I mean, that little mistake that does cost the game, unfortunately. And so that is as much as you can ask for, but well played, and what a huge comeback from BIGG.
Yeah, I was already signed off on the match. I was like, there's just no way, but insane performance by the two here. Aisling leading the charge with 27, but Margot on 23 it's enough. It's enough. The very last round, like I said, Hakane with a little bit of a misplay, just the nerves maybe getting to her. So she did have the shock darts, but at that point, what are you gonna do? You're just so far removed from the picture. No Hunter's Fury, no lineups available. You just sit and wait and hope that she fakes the defuse and just taps it away. But the call came in, the information was there. They knew she was all the way towards spawn, so she just stuck it.
Because especially when you're coming from that far away, you don't really have a chance to slow down in case it was a fake as well. Because that is the worst situation, especially if you were right, it was a fake, and you peek into the site and then you get shut down from someone completely else. Like, any way you could have played that situation, it's a really difficult choice. And you can see the damage. FUMA Gaming did a lot more damage than BIGG managed, and BIGG still, they walk away with it. And it was objective wins as well. I mean, obviously, as we saw there, that defuse was the objective win of the game. And so... I just saw a comment say big and now going huge. So it's like level up for these guys.
They are. They've went wombo already. It's absolutely insane, man. Just the comeback was so crazy. Just to think about that, the MVP Margot. Honestly, I'm not surprised. Margot is just, we've been hyping her up this entire tournament. Her coming in from Alter Ego Celeste, now making her presence known here on towards Big Scythe, leading the way for her team, paving the path to get towards at least deeper into the tournament here in the lower bracket. But just what a standout performance here from Big Scythe as they show not just tenacity, but just the resolve to go 10-2 and make a comeback on the second half. Really, really well done from Big Scythe.
Amazing plays all across the board from Big Scythe, and a nice try there from FUMA Gaming as well. They played really well. The fact they got it that close, it just goes to show. I feel like there were definitely improvements on both sides here, but Big Scythe, I mean, I had a feeling, and you can see it here as well. FUMA, how well they played, especially at the start of this. Their attack side, or rather their defense side, was phenomenal. Camus with this operator as well, just the confidence that was being shown. They had no idea that they needed 12 points in that first half if they wanted to win on Ascent.
Yeah, that's definitely something that they will remember for a very long time. Big Scythe should hold their head up high and hold it so proud for making such a strong performance, such a comeback after what felt like a crushing defeat, especially after a loss on Icebox. But FUMA Gaming definitely letting that game slip through their fingers. It was basically within reach. Just all they could do was take it, but stolen away from them by Big Scythe. But yeah, a great comeback that we were able to witness. Very fortunate to be able to do that. But unfortunately, it all comes to a close right here. That is the end of FUMA Gaming in this bracket. We are going to be bidding them goodbye and onwards. Big Scythe, they do continue on into this tournament where they will hopefully get a chance at maybe going to the grand finals itself. Their story lives on here, but our story as well will continue on towards the upper bracket. We're going to be seeing a very good game up next. It's going to be X10 versus none other than Alter Ego Celeste when we come back from this break.